See the Irish right there came out.
Okay, yeah, I know. I'm going live.
Hold up. No, I guess you can. Let's go.
Going live as well.
Stark, are you here?
I don't think he is yet, but I will.
I got an extra Stark. Message Stark.
Oh, boys.
He said, shit, on my way.
Yeah, I was gonna say my stuff's already started now.
Oh, well, hello! I didn't know we were alive.
Yep, we are now officially live.
What do we say?
I don't know.
I know.
Did you guys get a copy of the script?
No. Sorry.
Fuck.
I don't read scripts anyway.
Oh, okay.
I'm live.
Oh, there it is.
There's the intro.
See, now we can start.
Anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've already started.
I'm live to clear the throat, but
Oh, there it is.
There's the intro.
see. Now
All right, we can start now.
Yeah, I'm just hitting start stream and letting it go.
Let's see here. Testing this out. Since my camera's not available, why? I don't want.
I'd say I would do my camera, but since nobody could hardly see me when I was doing the
Dude, you
first
look
one,
like
I was
the-
like, yeah, fuck that.
the Dark Vader.
Since nobody could hardly see me.
No, I don't want to do my camera. It's just saying for some reason that it's.
Who's the host?
We all are.
Oh,
All of us are the host.
That's gonna
I
work.
was gonna say, we all decided, and then Major's like, yeah, fuck it, we'll do it.
I love how my chat is filling up already, but it still hasn't told me how many people are watching. It just there's just like such a delay in YouTube for that. It's so weird.
I was say I don't know if anybody. It says one's watching, but I don't know if that's me through the dashboard or if that's somebody else.
ooh, I have two people.
I have a lot of people.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
I can't possibly read all these names.
Myself. Yes, I need to.
So for everyone just tuning in, we're just doing an impromptu podcast, just conversation. You know, who we just consider doing. Stark's been doing one for a while with a couple people, and we decided, hey, let's just all do it tonight. So
Let's just copy Stark.
yeah, it's just like plagiarize Stark while he's not here.
Oh, somebody's gonna yell us for it. So. Might as well get it out there, right?
Wow. Your first live stream. Well, this is going to be really awkward for me.
Hello.
because we don't normally do this.
We might start doing it depending on how good it goes. You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Oh,
my name is Duckman.
Check your comments.
Oh God, where? On what? I have a lot of places where comments could be.
In your
Wow, big
chat.
fan.
The comments in your chat.
So, introduction.
The ultimate 12-year-old.
Oh, God bless. Really? I will time you out. I will time you out. I'm not even kidding you.
You're my favorite YouTuber. Can we play sometime?
Yeah, we're not quite setting up. This is kind of a podcast. Yeah, my first podcast. Me, yes, King. Yeah, I just almost said my name.
Shit.
Oh,
I love how we start the podcast and now our conversation has just like died.
Right.
Start that story. Start that story. Start that story.
Yeah, all right. So, Duck, what's the story?
Oh,
The waitress.
No, this is a story, but waitress was really
Well,
awesome. when we
well
get
first,
there.
see, since no one knows
Oh,
what the hell
really?
you're talking about, you gotta go to the beginning because the podcast doesn't know what the fuck we're saying.
How far did the beginning we want to start? We want to start with the whole thing that we did, or do we want to start
Yes.
with just?
Yeah.
Oh. So should
Well,
I
then you
start?
start that. Yeah, then you
Okay.
gotta go there.
Yeah.
All right. So a few months ago, the TRB got a wild hair upper.
That's a win.
And we decided to build a computer for one of our members. So we did that, and I delivered it to him this past week. And so, without giving too much away, you want to address that real quick, Ocean, in your chat?
I just did. But thank you, Supremacy, for the $2
Oh.
donation.
I didn't know if you wanted to do it verbally or not.
I did it in text form, but I'm like, yeah, I could do it now.
Anyway, we decided to build a computer for him. If you want to know all the specs, echoing.
I'll have it out.
No, you're not echoing.
No.
No.
No, my chat's echoing.
Unless they're watching the dual stream, then probably.
Yeah, if you're on
Sorry, Broncos fan.
multiple people's streams, you'll need to echo one. Or echo one. Wow.
Echo one.
Echo one. You'll need to
Echo
mute
one.
one. Choose one to watch, or choose one to listen to, and choose one to mute. But anyway, I delivered to him this past week, and while I was there, we had some dinner. So that's why I'll let Duck pick up.
Oh, it's not funny now.
Wow!
It was
So much lead up to nothing.
Alright.
well, because all I was gonna say is that chick was really freaking funny, or like cool, because she's like, "You want to? Here's our sides," and Womack said something like, "On a macaroni and cheese, is it any good?" And she's like, "I ain't gonna lie to you, man, it's Kraft."
Oh, yeah. Straight out. Which is what I thought. But
Yeah, it's just you don't hear that like.
No.
You're never supposed to upcharge you or not upcharge you, like upsell you.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I ain't gonna lie,
honest.
it's Kraft."
I can be honest. On my way into work, I stopped at Meijer and got it.
Yeah, got a couple boxes before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that was fun.
But you guys probably don't know what Meijer is, but
Meyer,
Meijer.
Fred Meyer's.
Nope, it's a grocery store in Michigan.
I don't know what a Fred Meyer's is.
Well, incorrect.
Yes, this will be uploaded. Sorry, answering chat is really awkward during a podcast.
No, by all means, you know.
I come out with random statements like, "Yes, this will be uploaded."
No, I'm watching yours and mine, so I get it. I see it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I need to pull your guys' up. Now I think about it.
Nutty Redneck. That's a lot of bananas.
A lot of bananas.
Yep, he has a lot of bananas.
There's
That's-
Stark.
Hello.
Here I am. Hello.
Welcome, Stark, to the stream.
Yeah, hello.
Say hi, Stark.
Well, you know, I'm just happy to be here, and I'm real glad that I can be on the radio show with you boys.
Never gets old.
Never.
Lonnie? Yes, well, what can I do for you?
I'm your biggest fan. I look at your blogs all the time.
Oh, well, I only have 2 subscribers. Which one are you?
Both.
That's kind of cool, but also disappointing at the same time because it's just
No,
only
it's okay.
one.
It's okay.
Now, Eddie, he can't be both of them because Colonel Womack's one of them.
No, incorrect. Incorrect. He's lying.
But it only says 2 unless one of you have yours set to hidden.
Oh, that's probably me.
Oh, well, yeah, because you don't want to be associated with me, and you don't want to
I
be
do.
known as a subscriber.
That's why I just put it out there for the world to see.
Yeah, you'll probably censor it later, though.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
I just want to address the reason you guys can't see is because there's nothing to see.
Yeah, it's
We're
just
talking.
an overlay. It's a podcast, not a
So
not,
in case
not
you
a
guys are
film.
in case you guys are thinking, you know. And then
Also,
one guy said it's loading for me. Okay. way to confuse the crowd there, buddy.
Yeah.
I should have made the overlay just said loading with dot. That's what I should have done.
Oh
Control
my
everyone.
god.
That would have been
Oh,
perfect.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh, I should have put like I don't know, like a freaking like what do they call it? When your voice is moving.
Oh,
A waveform.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
waveform,
work on
like
it next
the
time.
speaker almost or something.
Yeah, I'll have to work on it next time.
There you go. Oh shit.
I don't know what you mean, James Vaughn, about the TN State Trooper mod.
Tennessee State Trooper mod.
Yeah.
He wants you to add one, is what he's saying. He said it like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it would probably be a long time before we switch anything out on SAF. We have.
Oh, on SAF, I didn't see that.
To be truthful, I've been thinking about changing up the how patrol skins a little bit. Mainly more probably the uniforms than anything. But because I really like the vehicles.
Yeah, vehicles are nice. I like the vehicle.
I have been thinking about adding the California Patrol vehicles, but with our skins.
The skin?
So,
Oh.
no, with our skins.
Okay.
So it's stuff just as a what's going through the Colonel's head type of thing.
What about you, Sheriff? What are you thinking about the uniforms
For the
for
sheriff
sheriff?
department,
Yeah.
I might have something up my sleeve.
Yeah, considering the cars say Blaine County or Los Santos County and the uniforms say the opposite.
Actually, we changed that up for the new the new skins,
Oh.
new match.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about
The
that.
new skin's coming out.
For the cars,
Yeah.
thinking probably October.
Ooh, just in time for
October-ish.
Halloween.
Yeah.
And I have somebody working on some custom exclusive skins for the fire department as well. So
Oh, there
Wow. I get to learn a whole bunch of stuff on my birthday. I feel very.
and well, now, just going back to what you were saying, Womack. If you do change the uniforms out, can we at least keep can it be something that's going to have the same heads that we have now? Because I want my red head.
Well, I don't see
I want my redhead.
I want my Irish descent.
Missouri State Highway Patrol. Actually, BJ Barrett, I would love to do a Missouri State Highway Patrol, but that'll probably be something else, because that's actually my home state. So
Don't change the subject.
I'm answering somebody in your chat.
I'm from
Thank you
Kansas.
very much. You know,
Well,
but
I
no,
personally
back
like
to
the
that.
Michigan State Highway Patrol.
I like Michigan too, other than the stupid bubblegum head.
Okay,
on top.
you know what?
Love those cars.
You can definitely see
Yeah, me
that
too.
from
I
a
like
mile
the bubblegum.
away. All right, so
I'm
you
sure
need
you
to.
can.
You can do a slick top if you want. All right, big fella.
I will do a slick top if I want.
All right, then do it.
All right. Shut your face.
All right.
Shut up.
You know what?
Shut up.
All right.
That's what I thought.
My question's still on the floor.
I forgot. Help.
So, anybody else have any questions for the Colonel?
Hey,
Totally sidewalking you on now.
At all seriousness, though, I don't see why we couldn't put those heads on any ped. It's just a texture file like anything else. So I don't see why we couldn't put that on anything. That's something I need to experiment with and see.
yeah,
So-
because if the heads and the actual uniforms don't have to coincide, then yeah, we can But because I've always pictured Stark with that face too. Like that's how I just picture him all the time. But
Yeah.
you know,
It'd be nice to actually have something that could a variety instead of always having like 50,000 twins out there.
yeah, it'd be nice to have more than
Yeah.
because everyone's been kind of leaving the red head, and then everyone goes with either like the clean shaven or like the the brown beard over there.
Oh, the black guy.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at my overlay. You have two of them, and then one of the blank.
One red.
and then one
Yeah.
red.
Right.
So makes sense.
So Jason over in my chat asked how everybody is doing.
Fan bloody tastic.
There you go.
Awesome.
I'm tired.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
doing good.
definitely pretty good after that squad
Oh
match.
yeah,
doing
that's
pretty
squad.
great.
Oh
3
yeah.
hours.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't,
That was more like 6 hours. Oh
yeah, if
think it
you
was
haven't
four.
That was
seen,
I was only in there for the second session now.
Yeah.
some of us had to work.
Loser.
Hey, gotta make money. Gotta pay the car payment. If y'all haven't seen the Squad Live stream, go over to Superstar's channel. It's linked in all my other videos except for this one. And go check that out. All these guys were in on it, and it sounds hilarious. The clips I've seen looked awesome, so I might have to go check it out myself.
Yeah, and mine are gonna come out in video form because all I did was record. I didn't live stream. So
That's because this is your first live stream.
Well, it's not
no, my
First, vexing.
Funny story-
podcast.
Gosh,
funny,
sorry. It's somebody's first in here, okay?
funny story about that too. Like, I because my internet is rubbish. Like I can't do GTA. I can barely do it. Like the only time I ever did like Rebel Brotherhood like videos as a live stream, I was so distracted by people in the chat just being like, "Oh lag, oh lag, oh lag," and I keep saying like, "Yeah, guys, I know there's lag. I get it. And it was, like I got so annoyed with that. But like, so I haven't done live streams. But when I had my huge like explosion of subscribers last month or 2 months ago, like I started doing Truck Simulator because I'm like, oh shit, well like I don't have anything on backstock because I just came home from vacation and saw this, and I have nothing to put out, and I'm like, I gotta do something fast because I just got all these people here, and we started doing live streams of Truck Simulator, and that was like the first time I've done it in a while, and I was like, oh, this actually is pretty cool. I like doing this. Once I get better internet, then we can do SAF live streams. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I thought you were working on that.
Yeah, I still haven't had to call my ISP yet. So.
Gotcha. And you have cable, correct?
I don't have it. I'm gonna have to have them do it, but
no,
sure
that's what you have. That's your
cable. Yes.
Yeah, that's your.
And I think it's RG6 or RG9. What is it?
Yeah, RG6.
I need 11.
Yeah. You need 11, correct.
Yeah, same here. We got 200 feet from that pole I was telling you.
You have 200 feet and you're on RG6?
Wow. Yep.
I'm shocked you have any kind of decent speed at all.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because RG6
over... This is actually a question for Ocean. Do you have any kind of sneak peeks or something you can say about the upcoming times with the SAF fire department?
Well,
I've
come up with a couple... Yeah, it's in the works, but I have a couple different... ways that firefighters are going to be able to role play certain scenarios, and it's something that civilians are going to have to be trained with as well, and officers, as to how to use the fire department and then how to interact with them if they end up in a situation like, let's say, a civilian gets into a rollover MVA and they they're in the car and they can't get out. There's just a severe amount of damage. And they role play not being able to open the door. Then what's going to happen is the firefighters show up, and then they're going to try to extricate the victim from the car, and we're actually going to use the jackhammer scenario that you can use for your character, and just right up against the door, because it's a jackhammer, but you got to kind of role play as the Jaws, and do that for a little bit, and then the civilian or officer can go into the door menu and go to that door that they're popping, like the driver's side door, and they can go to remove driver's side door, and it'll pop the door right off the car. So it'll be like they just took the car, took the door right off the car to get the person out.
Jaws of life.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's actually really cool.
Yeah, so things like that is what I'm working on, and it's gonna be legit. I mean, whoever was there for my ambulance patrol, you saw, I dragged it out when I was helping the victim. I'm like, okay, all right, we're gonna put this neck brace on you. All right, hey, you two, troopers, you want to just grab him, just roll him away from me so I can put the backboard under. Okay, now I'm gonna do the strap. I did it. It was like a 5-6 minute, role play before we actually put him in the ambulance.
Yeah, which is good because it just prolongs the entire role. Right. Yeah, it just makes everything better.
Yeah, because any scene that we do, let's say it's a pursuit or whatever, in the past, once the pursuit was over, it was like, okay, the scene would last for a minute and a half after the chase was done. It was like, okay, we're all 10-8 back on patrol. But now when you have the option of having, response from ambulance and fire department, and then have them show up, and you have to wait for them to finish what they're doing, keep the roads closed, keep them safe because there's extra things going on, and then, let them finish. And then once the ambulance is out of there with the victims, all right, I guess we can go 10-8 now, and then it breaks down, But it adds more to the realism. It adds to the length of it.
Hey, Stark? Is Stark still here?
Yeah, he's been silent.
He's just really quiet.
Because when we did our TRB the other night, before his rig blew up, his door flew off. So I'm wondering if that was what he did. I mean, it literally ejected it.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
And he popped out before the.
Oh no! I know what you're talking about. When your vehicle is upside down and has, I think, a certain amount of damage in it, when you go to leave, it'll just pop the door off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I was upside down in Womack's vehicle, that didn't happen. It didn't eject.
Yeah.
So I actually do remember back when we had the one pursuit when you were actually testing out the EMS side of it, and actually having that more of the questioning aspects that they did in real life, and why the LEOs like myself and I forgot who else was on scene that actually had the area blocked off so that way you could hopefully work safely.
Yeah.
So I think that was with me. Yeah.
Somebody over in in Duck's chat, I don't know if you saw that or not, but posted that there's actually a Jaws of Life script.
Oh, really?
It's private resource. Never mind. Yeah, they just said it's private resource.
Yeah.
Very simple to make. Oh, he says it's simple to make.
No, I think the only problem with that is actually having somebody who's experienced with things like Lua, C#, and all that.
I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out, but it would take me a while to do. If I knew some people knew how to do that stuff, I would love to get into all that.
I mean, I definitely know there's a lot of tutorials out there for especially things like C# and things based around certain games like Gmod, GTA.
Hey,
like that.
we're all YouTubers. We know YouTube's a great resource. So
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it definitely is.
C+ is easy. C+ is easy. I don't know about that. I tried C++ once when I was younger, and I don't know. But
It's
I'm
probably
lucky. I'm lucky I mastered HTML.
It's probably
pretty much.
the stick figure of the computer world.
Yeah.
I can turn on YouTube.
Zeros and ones. That's what everything runs nowadays.
Well, Austin Guthrie in my chat just asked about if we would do more SWAT, vehicle stuff in our server. But I'll let you answer that one, Justin, because you've always been very strongly opposed to SWAT.
The only real reason I've been opposed to SWAT is just because their stuff is way overpowered. It's way OP.
Well, it's not even. Oh, go ahead.
And not only that, a majority of what we've been up against, or not what we've been up against, the majority of LEOs we've been dealing with over the last year, we didn't really have the numbers to run a full SWAT team on top of two departments, on top of the whole map.
And majority of that, we don't really have enough troopers as it is. Then again, to run the SWAT.
And we never will. Troopers will always be a select few. More than likely, we'll never hit. If we ever hit double digits, it'll be extremely small. Double digits.
Right.
It won't be anything over 20. I guarantee you that. Unless the server just explodes and we run multiple servers because we have to. And
right.
So
I mean, and it's not even that. And sometimes the civs don't even do what.
Actually,
you need SWAT.
Yeah, we encourage them not to.
I mean, it's
Ocean is very strong opinionated on the fact of have a storyline behind what you're doing. Don't just do it. Don't be caught. And all that. So
just keep the role play going.
So the thing is, the other thing with the SWAT team though is that our scenes don't last long. Like those priority scenes don't last long enough to call and have a SWAT team come in.
For sure,
most of those scenes, they end with us just either arresting or killing the suspect within a couple of minutes from when their chase ends. Basically.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but I know Stark and we went to the O'Neill Ranch, and that was done in like 2 minutes when I got, kidnapped? That officer got missing or whatever. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was done in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more of the fact that if we could ever get to a point to actually have a full SWAT squad and shit like that, it's more going to be having the numbers as well as actually having confident civs and confident LEOs who can actually be able to roleplay now and actually give, like you said, the whole story behind it, actually have everything on how it's going to play out from the entry points to if there's an ambush that would happen or things like that. But if you don't have people who know what they're doing when it comes to it and actually can play it out longer instead of like a 2-minute shootout, then you can actually probably get somewhere. But until then, there's no way it's going to be as realistic because, like you said, you can't get anybody called out in time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's put it this way to simplify it. The SWAT team would see less action than the fire department would.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Have to be pre-rehearsed to have response there.
They'd be canceled halfway through their response because never mind, the LEOs got them with their Glock pistols.
You still would actually have, if you actually did it as the realistic, you would actually have one or two squad or a couple squad members who are actual SWAT medics who can or tactical medics to actually be out there in case something goes wrong with an LEO.
Yeah, but
so they would get a little bit of
full, SWAT uniform just in the back of their trunk. They got casework there. They've got
SWAT units do carry their
all
uniforms.
kinds of stuff. I know Trooper Stark, he keeps his shotgun in the back. That takes up a little bit of room. So if you RP actually the type of stuff that's in the trunk, you got traffic cones and all that. You ain't got enough room to pack a full SWAT uniform.
Well, that's why
by the time you get there, it's already over.
That's why you have a Bearcat.
Having to go. Well, you have to go get the Bearcat first, and then show up to the scene, which takes.
You tell people to stay off scene until SWAT arrives. That it's too unsafe.
Well, then the Bearcat.
Guys, that trust me from past experiences of trying to do a full SWAT, it doesn't work that way. And to be 100% honest with you guys, I'm fully against officers having ARs. Yeah, because. It's just not. Yes, I know in today's world they have that, but I'm not a proponent against it because I want to draw that out because I want to make it more quote unquote realistic. And for somebody to say, I'm gonna or fully auto is authorized or ARs are authorized, then they just whip it out. Well, where do you have that? You don't have it strapped to your back.
Well, that's the problem. Is that it's in the rules that if you have a long arm weapon, as in the AR-15, a shotgun, whatever, a rocket launcher, which is banned, but anyway, if it's an example, you can't have that hidden, as in you can't have it unequipped. If you take out your AR-15 or your M4, you have to keep it in your hands the entire time you're away from your car. The M4 or AR-15, whatever we're going with here, is in your vehicle. It's in the lock in your vehicle. And if you leave your vehicle and you didn't roleplay taking that out and you run halfway across the Sonora Desert and then decide, I'm going to switch to my M4, you can't just pull it out. Like you have like for example, the featurette video I did, the hour-long featurette. The reason I was walking around with the M4 for so long was because I didn't have a car to put it away. My car got stolen.
Right.
So that entire episode, I'm walking around with that thing because you can't in real life just,
throw it on the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't go in your pocket or something. Yeah, like that's the other thing is if you role play throwing it on the ground, now it's gone. But yeah, so that's why and that's in the rules. And
right.
So say I'm in a scenario where I go into a warehouse that has some shooters in it. I realize, okay, I'm outgunned here. I would then retreat back to my car, role play getting my M4 out, and then go back in, not just switch it on the fly.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can't pull it.
I was going to say, if we're standing there on the fire, you're not going to do that. You're going to fire back with whatever you got, which is going to be your sidearm. That's why 90% of the time, because I do the loadout script, yes, I get that, and I get a shotgun, but I don't use them. It's on a rare occasion you'll see me actually use one. I think, as a matter of fact, last month I count one time. And that was the night that we were at Duck's, at the sheriff's new house out there between Harmony and Sandy Shores. And we had the guy up on the tower shooting at us. And I was firing back with auto, and I was right there by my car. But I kept it out the whole time. And then once I got my car, I put it away, and I went to my sidearm and started going after him. But that's it. And I would encourage everybody, a part of SF, to do the same thing. Use your sidearm, don't use anything else. I don't carry a Glock either, I carry a 1911, that's personal preference.
Yeah. I mean, I think lately we've been doing very good with the
I agree.
Pistol versus M4. I don't think people have been abusing it. Because the other thing is, back in BCLE, we actually banned the shotgun because the shotgun.
It's OP.
Yeah, because you could. It didn't. The shotguns in GTA 5 do not have a spread. It's just a direct shot, just like a pistol. but it has a shorter range than a pistol, but it still has a very long range for a shotgun. And you could be across a shopping mall and shoot somebody with that shotgun, and you would kill them, that's unrealistic. You'd probably hit them with a little something, like from in real life, but not, that from that distance. So we banned that.
So
And
it all filters back to RP then.
Yeah.
Role playing.
You know what would help?
Oh, now he speaks up.
Yeah, geez.
Well, I had to get something, but I had to get a smoke, but
my smoke.
Yeah, smoke. But no, it would help if we could get rid of the small white reticle when you aim down the sights.
And
in
going
third
to like
person.
first person almost.
No, well, not even going to first person, but if the little white dot, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When you're in third person, if you could get rid of that in itself would be enough to make firefights last a lot longer and to make your shots more inaccurate as if you were in that type of situation.
You know what?
Because then you'd actually...
I might have a way of doing that.
Basically, like pre-firing, like you're hiding behind a car. You can't see, so you don't know where you're aiming, but that white dot helps you.
Yeah, you know what? I think I know how to do that to remove it, because I have a mod that I used to use in LSPDFR that it wasn't based on script hook or anything. It was just basically just turned that reticle into a transparent texture.
Circle,
so you no longer because that white dot is a texture in GTA. So if you just make that transparent, it's gone. I think and all you do is you just copy over into your GTA directory. However, if we did it that way, no one would. There'd be people who would be like, "Oh yeah, I put it in." No, I didn't.
Didn't put it in.
No.
Yeah.
There might be a way of streaming it from our server, in which case I'll talk to Caden about that.
Yeah,
But
that
I
would
think
be...
that
See, I just join in just to give some helpful advice, and then I'll be quiet again.
No, I mean, it's more fine. Talk if you want
Yeah.
to. I mean,
No,
you don't want to be part of our group.
Technically, this podcast was supposed to be for you, and then all of us joined in to do the podcast on our channel. So, it's technically you're the starting of it.
Who?
You.
No.
Because we all worked.
He's like, nah.
No. Oh, man, I feel good.
All right.
Okay, then.
Good for you.
Random.
Well, that's one way of putting
Wow.
it.
Someone in Ocean's chat goes, "I would cigarette."
You broke up. What?
Yeah, if you weren't cutting out, it'd be great.
What?
Oh, can you hear me? Hello? Am I okay?
That'd be great if we could hear you.
What?
God.
Oh.
All right, you know what? Never mind.
Oh
I'm not
shit!
even
No, I got it.
Where are you?
In Ocean's chat, it says I would offer you a cigarette, but you're already smoking hot.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you for doing
And,
that.
and the name of the channel is "This channel has been deleted."
Yeah.
Oh well, you know
I'm
what?
I wonder
surprised they're
why.
even able to use it. If that
You
was
can't
the
praise
case.
them anymore.
Inappropriate flirting. That's why I got deleted.
Oh.
And actually, where's Mr. Jim at? He was supposed to be the star of the show. I thought.
Jim.
Al.
That's all you
What?
get.
Smoke.
What?
But,
Yeah, smoke?
That's all you get right there.
Smoke.
Hi, Jam.
Hi, Clyde.
so we got Jim and Clyde. Now, where the frick is Primrose at?
Oh, you
Oh,
don't
hell
know.
no.
You know who would actually? You know who would actually join that group of freaking hicks that you guys got going on now?
Hey, we're
Sam.
Sam Savage.
Sam
Disciple.
Savage. Because
Yeah.
she's got the southern accent. She's from down south. Like that's her thing. So she'd probably hang out. But the funny thing is, like Primrose, if you guys haven't noticed, like she is always up near Sandy, and like she's in the past.
But she proclaims that she's from Montana.
Which she is.
Right.
But she just goes up there and like because she had a boyfriend who got killed by a flying sheriff's car in that one video.
Yeah,
No, don't lie. She goes up there because she has arthritis.
She's gonna weed for arthritis.
And besides, you don't have to live in the country to be a be known as a redneck or a hick or whatever. I mean, it's more based on the roots that you actually started with or had been through. Mm-hmm. Like for me, I live in the city right now, but yet I've had country roots.
Oh yeah,
I've done farming, I've done horseback riding, the whole shit. But people always think, oh well, they live in the city, they're not hicks or rednecks.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a whole stereotypical lie.
If you ride a horse, you're a redneck.
Oh yeah, no, because how far I am from, I mean, I'm close to New York City, so like it's I see the best and worst of both worlds. So
these guys in your stream motion have some pretty bad pickup lines.
I'm reading them.
Are you a camera? Because every time I look at you, God,
is that
I smile.
In your pocket, or are you happy to see me? It's a banana, not a gun.
A gun banana.
Quarters in your pocket.
Why, yes, it is.
No.
All right.
Well.
All right. Well, that's the punchline for that.
Is that a pack of smokes in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?
It's a Tic Tac.
No, I'm actually out.
It's a Tic Tac.
Actually an empty box. You know,
Do I have to start saying bad
Did you?
now?
That was some heavy breathing.
I was gonna say I said everybody has pretty much talked except for Les 10. He hasn't really said much at all.
Hi Les, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, just getting cut off a lot. You know
Shut up.
Yeah, fuck you. Oh, that's perfect. Most of the people don't know the inside joke of the sheriff's department versus me.
Fuck you.
And there it is.
All right, let's talk. Let's
Wow. Yeah, let's let him. At least he can speak clearly.
Let's talk less.
Yeah, do you read the English?
No, I need
Me, no English.
You need to get some Rosetta in your life. Or Rosetta stuff.
Some Rosetta in your life.
Rosetta. Yeah. I thought you were going to say I need to get some rose in my life.
Oh.
Well, that too, because she'll whip
that's
you
a punishment.
Yeah, she'll whip you into shape if you
only knew.
Every rose has its thorns.
Only knew.
Oh God! I bet she has that tattooed on her back.
Or hell,
got it when she was like 18 or something.
It's a tramp stamp, is what she got.
That would totally be
Yeah, it's a tramp stamp.
And if you guys actually want a punishment, just put him with Lenny.
Yeah. Yeah, Colonel, you're up next.
Up next for what?
For Lenny. You just wait.
What are you talking about?
You know,
last night. Fuck that.
I know it can't happen, but I'd really love to see Primrose meet Lenny.
Oh,
that would be a great.
Cut each other's throats.
I think Ocean's mind would melt if that happened.
Yeah. I had to have a conversation with myself. That's the weird part. Be like, hello, who are you? I'm Isabella Primrose the Third.
And then.
So to pretty much be arguing yourself that like Jeff Dunham has.
Or what?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Primrose and that dude. That smart ass needs. What?
It's like her grandfather.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where to go? What?
What was his name? Cotton.
Smoke.
Oh,
Cotton.
Thaddeus Cotton.
What?
Thaddeus Cotton. That name.
Literally.
Was that an on-the-spot name?
No, I used the name generator, and that's what came out. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Thaddeus
Cotton.
There was a little pause there. I was like,
It reminds me of Cotton from King of the Hill. That's what I think when I hear the name Cotton. I think of King of the Hill.
Yeah. Like Jim sounds like.
Yep.
If you were a chicken, you'd be impeccable.
You're all just trying to make me spit tea over my monitor. I'm telling you. Every time.
Well, then you seem to be drinking tea while you're on a podcast that you're gonna laugh.
Hey, you know what? That's not the first thing I probably spit at your computer monitor.
Oh no.
Damn, call me out like that. Hell.
Green beans?
I thought we were friends. Green beans.
Duck sauce?
I thought I was in the
Green beans.
Green beans.
Yeah.
No, that is not beans.
Yep. I'm telling the story right now.
Duck sauce?
Are you fucking kidding?
Nope.
Whoa, okay. No, you know what? I gotta admit, this pickup line that someone just said in the chat is now officially my favorite, and it's not bad. It says, "Are you a singularity? Not only are you attractive, but the closer I get to you, the faster time seems to slip by." That's bloody brilliant. I gotta remember that one. I'm copy pasting that.
That's gonna be the one that Ocean uses on his next girlfriend.
Yep, European Crusader. Thank you for that one. I'm using that.
So what's wrong, Doug? Why don't you tell the story?
Oh, he's all quiet.
Well, he's not answering, so go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, who wants to
You
hear
have
the story?
silence
I
is
do.
consent.
Oh no. Yeah, until he says it, Stark.
Yeah, because it's about you, Start.
I'm trying to protect you, but
So
go for it. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Yep. So we were talking about why our what started the conversation. What exactly started the conversation? Do you remember?
I asked why if Stark had a better computer than me, then he lagged out a lot.
No, it was he asked. He's like, hey, is he using a gaming computer or is he using a government computer? I was like, no, I'm pretty sure he bought a gaming computer. He's like, oh, okay.
So bad.
So he was like, what? Is it good or is it bad? I was like, I mean, it's decent. You know, I'm not a fan of Intel, never have been. You know, but it's an Intel, and it's I think it's got a 1060 in it or something like that. And it was just like, so why does he keep flagging out? I was like, I don't know, maybe he watches too much stuff on it. And about that time, you know, Doug takes a bite of green beans, and I'm like, yeah, maybe you need to take it up and throw it into the black light and see how many spots are all over it. And Doug about lost some green beans right there all over.
About fucking.
It would have been bad. But yeah, so it's like, you know, honestly, I think it's his internet connection more than anything causes the issue, but it's also some of he's using old, he's using older, like hack update stuff. He hasn't, he's too lazy to download the new one. So,
No.
No.
I would never. I don't have you know I use my phone for that stuff.
Well, you know, he's also too lazy.
So it's his phone that he's got to, you know, worry about.
I'm too worried about my computer crashing because I already spent a lot of money on this one. And
yeah, well, he's also too lazy to clean out his fan of dust, so.
yeah, I still haven't done that yet.
Oh my god.
Speaking of laziness.
Yeah.
Don't say that in morning when you try it.
Unboxing.
It should be like the 1 year anniversary, which is next.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, I would.
It's like, yeah, it's like.
Well, I definitely know whenever I do end up getting or buying that build, and after
I knew he couldn't go the whole podcast without saying something about his computer.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be a better computer than what I have now. I mean, especially having somebody build it and actually design it.
I wouldn't know who's in that.
No, I don't either.
This isn't a plug.
This isn't a plug.
No,
It sounded like a
Real a-hole, though.
plug. It really sounded like a plug for another person.
If y'all want computers built, come see me.
There it is.
There it is.
Hey.
There's the plug.
There it is.
Jay will make games, custom computers.
Boom.
.edu.
EDU.
EDU.
What the fuck? Freaking college now?
So I'm guessing, I'm guessing Womack's gonna be teaching a computer class, and that's why it's EDU.
Welcome to the University of.
I don't know. God, that would be bad. That would be very bad. Could you imagine me as a professor? Oh God.
Professor Womack.
That would be bad. That'd be very bad.
Very bad.
You'd
Are
probably
you a
be one of
bank
those
loan
professors
because you
who would
got
dip
my-
a freaking computer in liquid nitrogen.
Dude, I want to do. I actually would love to do a liquid nitrogen build, but and like I would have to do an Intel for that just because the gigahertz required to run liquid nitrogen would an i7 like 6900K or something like that, 6800K, overclock like 8 gigahertz or some shit.
Whoa.
I still couldn't believe seeing that. I think it was a video on YouTube, or either YouTube or Facebook, that there was actually a Coca-Cola cooled computer.
Oh yeah.
I just don't see how, because of all the sugar would boil off and would
emulsify.
emulsify. And
When it's a closed loop and there's no air in there, how's it going to boil? There's nowhere for it to go.
Like sediment and stuff.
Actually.
Oh, great! I can't even mess. Okay.
I can't remember if it was Jay's 2 cents or Paul's Hardware that did it. But they did three different ones. They did one with antifreeze, they did one with soda. I don't think it was Coca-Cola, some kind of soda. And then they did a water-cooled and an air-cooled. And it was all the same machine across the board. All the specs and everything was the same. It was the same chip, all that, same board. And oddly enough, I believe they proved that antifreeze works just as good as the coolant they use that comes in sealed units for liquid cooling. And then I can't remember how the Coke did. I'd have to go back and look it up. It's been like years.
I'm guessing it's flat with like no
Ocean
soda or anything.
overlay went off.
No, I know. I'm trying to get my chat onto the overlay, but I gotta look at the figure it out.
It couldn't be soda or anything, right?
Oh, what the hell?
It could be just about anything.
No, I mean like soda bubbles.
Oh, you're talking about carbonation?
Yeah, the carbonation itself, because
No,
it's got
they
carbonate a
actually
little
put-
bit.
They
Computer
actually
stuff,
put the-
ones and zeros, Tetris.
Yeah, pretty much. They actually put soda fresh out of the bottle into the tank. Like they opened the bottle, you heard it, you heard the carbonation pop, you heard everything. I mean, it was a brand new bottle of whatever, some kind of cola.
And that's maybe the extreme heat that it undertook. Maybe it killed the carbonation. Like if you boil Coke, even though they stay not to,
Close.
it
It's
actually.
somewhere.
Oh, true.
But
It's
let's see here to there. It's been done, and that's how it is.
It's
like
how
you
do they
can't get
actually-
it.
I'll take it.
I'm
how do they get the?
I'm not saying I'm gonna do it. I'm not that brave,
Oh,
but
You got it.
I was gonna say there's actually another one that was over on YouTube that they filled with water, not just like a closed tubing.
There it
actually
is.
A whole case is filled
Yeah.
with water. And I'll see like how that could actually.
Well, like a header tank.
like a what tank?
All you see is the case, and then you see them filling it up with I think it was like oil or water or something.
I've never seen them do an oil cooled. I don't
I
think
don't know,
that would work.
It may have not been oil. It's just I remember as they were pouring like a crap ton of something in it, and they had to go in and buy more bottles of it to actually fill it.
Oh, yeah, I don't have
Yeah, that would have been with a header tank.
But
So like head pressure from a tank.
I was gonna say something, Ocean. I literally I've just been watching the.
I have too. Some of them are pretty good, and it's starting to degrade a little bit now.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You get that.
I'm watching it, but I'm not watching it.
Yeah. I just figured out how to put my overlay up for the
Dylan is like begging you.
Yeah, I don't know you, Dylan. Sorry, I only allow mods that people I've known for like a year now. So
Oh,
there's mods in here, so we're good.
Wait.
none of them are active.
Oh, they're here.
Ocean, Duck, and I, out of everybody here, have been together over what, a year and a half now? We've been role-playing together?
I think so. Yeah.
Roughly?
What? Yeah,
The
because
story I heard earlier, I think two of y'all might have got a little bit closer.
Oh,
You know.
the one thing Les says in forever.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I found it. Like it's mineral oil.
I
That's what
think
they
Jealous?
Yeah, right. I think so. I think he is. So that's kind of what it sounds like to me. So what? Who was saying something before Duck said jealous?
I said it was mineral oil is what they.
Oh, mineral oil. Okay.
I knew it was something because they had to buy more bottles of it, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was.
Black sauce.
Yeah.
They used essential oils.
Essential oil. Sandalwood.
Black sauce.
Some see, I know, which I never got.
Is it
Mhm.
self-heating and self-lubing or no?
Yeah.
It was
Damn.
ointment.
I know somebody asked in the chat like way early in this live stream that they asked how we all met.
Oh.
Yeah, I know it was kind of I know it was kind of directed towards I guess the original people because I know like a lot of the newer folks here like who do we got here? We got like Les, Morris, Razy, Stark even. Because so the story of where all of this started.
Wow.
What?
It's story time at SAF.
A little bit. I'll keep it brief.
Skipped over my name. I love it. I love it.
What? Oh, backstick. Sorry, I was just doing it as an example.
Okay.
Don't do them all. But so we met originally in Jeff Favianato's Discord back when it was public, and and we were talking about like 5M where that was going and stuff, and I remember we were talking to Runt, and we'd have like basically nightly conversations on there. It was pretty cool, and then it kind of like died down, but that was when a community started called DDPS, and it was the first 5M community that I was a part of. That's where I met Justin and Duckman, and who was I know who's still with us.
Didn't Justin come in after? I was there, and then Justin came in.
Correct. Yeah, I came in after you two had already met each other and stuff, and I had been watching World Ocean 10 stuff, and I found Jeff's LSPDFR, and then I found Code Zero, and I like binge watched all that stuff, and then I found Ocean stuff, and I started binge watching his stuff. And then I think that was before Duck really started uploading, or at least uploading
I didn't
regularly.
start uploading.
And then I actually got in with Fluffy, who I met through Jeff's Discord server, and became friends with Fluffy on his Discord server. And I learned how to do LSPDFR on my own through just tutorials and stuff online. And I helped Fluffy set up his LSPDFR stuff. And he's like, "Hey, dude, you should come join this server." And that's when I got into DDPS. And Baker, I put in my app and all that, and I'm like, I'm not going to wait around 500 years for interview and all this. I got better stuff to do than that. And of course, that was all this, and Baker's like, whoa, I'll do it right now. So he did it, and that's when I became into DDPS. And then I fangirled when I saw Ocean for the first time, like everyone else. And he had like, I don't know, 200 subs or something back then, But,
yeah, it's like a smaller version of what happens now in SAF.
Yeah, pretty much. I did one time a few weeks ago. I went all the way back to our very first DMs, and I'm like, "Hey, I love your work," and you're like, "Oh, thanks," and that was pretty much it. And
then a friendship was born.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, because because Duckman was there. We hadn't really like talked that much though, because he was part of like the command, like because it was right when DDPS started, and the head guys were chosen already, and then us members started trickling in, and then Justin and I were kind of on like the same level, like we kind of both came in, and actually you were in the first time we tested the 5. Well, actually no, we didn't start up with 5 Reborn, which is now known as 5M. We started out with, what's the other one?
Multi-5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were doing Multi-5, and you were the first officer to do a traffic stop on me. Because I remember, if you remember, it was a freaking like a dune, what do you call it? Dune buggy. And I was some old man riding around in the city, and you pulled me over, and it was like, you can't really be driving this around in the city, and excuse me, and that was the original, and then so that happened, and some shite happened with that community, so we ended up going to informing BCLE.
Yep.
Yeah, starting BCLE,
and going from there, and it transitioned to Triple R, and then it transitioned to what's now SAF, which is the permanent home for us now. And everything's been worked out, all the kinks and everything. This is a great community. Everything is structured and awesome.
Tried and true.
Yeah, completely true.
It was birthed by fire, but it's cooled, and it's actually, no, it's still on fire. It's awesome, like on fire in a good way, not like God, we're all gonna die kind of.
For sure, yeah, I agree with that 100%. And then can't forget that the brotherhood that formed literally as the Rebel Brotherhood out of going between BCLE and Triple R, and then of course to here, and that's really a lot of why I still do this is because of the other four guys, which nobody really knows the 5th one yet, but
we're getting there.
Because of them is really why I'm still here and why I still roleplay and still enjoy doing what I do, because I was burnt out much like the other guys, and they've really just livened it up and pushed me further along to do better content.
Yeah, and I know I want you guys to all have more subscribers. Like those of you who do YouTube, like I know Les does, Ray does, Vexic, you do as well. I believe I just haven't seen your. He can't even hear me. He's deafened.
Yeah, he's
live
deafened.
streaming. He's deaf.
He just looked over. I'm like, wait.
That's great.
But you know, but I want you guys to have a lot of subscribers too, because your content, all of you, is excellent. And yeah, TRB was formed just because when we were doing like BCLE, Triple R, and SAF, like we were going towards the more like legit, you know, serious role play, and it wasn't much joking around at that point. It was fun, but it wasn't the like really humorous, over the top, you know, stuff that we used to do. So Triple R, TRB was a way for the three of us at the time. Then it became four. Now it's fun. And that's basically that's it. Now we're not doing it anymore. It's just 5 people. That's what Robo Brother is. But you know, now it's a place where we can go back and do those over the top calls, you know, and chases and characters that we can't really get away with in SAF. And we actually recorded some TRB that's going to be going out. Yeah. So those videos will be out where we just go over the top with stupid stuff. So.
It's like if you actually think back with like whoever, or if anybody had been in like previous communities, I mean, most places now, and even in other games too, I mean, you play something and it's more repetitive, and it's like I think it was one like that said you get worn out because it's the same stuff, just different days, and I mean, it's hard not to get burnt out, and that's why like you guys having all those to work with, especially characters that you said are like too vulgar for SAF, and then for Stark with doing squad and things like that, it gives us all a variety of taking a moment back and actually, I guess, breaking the seriousness and actually having a lot more fun and trying to get more people interactive instead of just being like, okay, here we're gonna go patrol for 2 hours, and then nope, you guys are on your own. You guys could do whatever the hell you want. We'll be back Thursday for patrol or whatever. And having something like this, it actually gets more of a, I guess, like you said, a brotherhood, friendship, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we do a lot of, like farm sim. It breaks up the, consistent. Yeah, that's a better word. But yeah, it's, it's not serious. It's, more fun not to have to worry about, who's in charge of what, who did this tonight. It's just kind of like go in there, do your thing, and it just breaks it up. Because if that was the only game I played, I'd have been done a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And that's part of the reason, personally, why I got burnt out is because between towards the middle and end of DPS and beginning of BCLE, that's all I did was eat, sleep, breathe. Because at the end of DPS, I was in charge of all the back and all the server. I pretty much coded it, and in fact, I hosted it. And then same with BCLE, almost all the way through up until the last couple of months, where I had a lot of personal issues going on. I built it, I hosted it, I did all that. And then between BCLE and Triple R, I was like, I might just be done. And of course, again, I had a lot of personal stuff going on, but it is what it is, and that's life. So I guess in all this I say, watch what you do. If you feel like you're getting burnt out, say something, and we will put you on LA. We'll do whatever we gotta do.
Yeah, you need to do other stuff, because it's supposed to be fun, and when it becomes a job, it's not fun anymore. I'm not saying not jobs. I mean, I'm gonna have to get off here in a little bit because I got to work in the morning. but it's in the gaming world, if you do something and do it, even though you love it, if you don't take breaks and do other stuff, it becomes more of a work and not fun. And that that's TRB. That's what that's done for me personally. It's an escape from having to be more of a serious kind of role player.
Yeah.
So yeah, in TRB, like Ocean was saying, we can be not so. God, I can't wait for those videos to come out.
Yeah,
because I'll just show you exactly what it is.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing is that like but we're so set in our ways with SAF that even when we went into TRB, it was like we kind of forgot, like, oh, we can be a little more. Like that's why I did that
this
thing.
This last one it was like, oh yeah, we can do this.
Yeah, like
I feel like that one's gonna be a big hit.
Yeah, because I went over the top with that one. And
especially the ending.
Yeah, but like, and going back to what was said earlier about being burned out and everything, like, you know, that was kind of why I stopped doing LSPDFR for a while, because it's kind of repetitive, because it's you're dealing with the AI, but yeah, people come up with some really awesome like call outs and stuff for it, but you know, eventually you kind of start seeing the same theme and stuff like that. And the great thing about 5M and doing things multiplayer is that you're dealing with the unpredictability of other players. You know, like even when I went back into LSPDFR like recently, like I'm not even watching, like I'm watching the AI traffic, but because I'm so used to their behavior that I'm not seeing like, okay, that guy ran in red light, but I could totally tell that's AI. You know, like, what am I going to do? I'm like, oh, wait, I'm in LSPDFR. I can do something about that. But, you know, I stopped doing LSPDFR because of the repetitiveness for a while. And 5M is a new thing. And what's funny is that now a lot of people are on YouTube looking for 5M content and less LSPDFR. And that's when I put out my last 2 videos of LSPDFR, they got significantly less views than my 5M stuff. And it's like, wow, the times have changed. People want that more because it is more interesting to have real people be the people that you're pulling over or shooting out with, whatever.
Agreed. You get that back and forth between, you know, your character and you being a LEO.
Yeah.
And that's what the people want, entertainment.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, and I remember talking to Womack about this, about a series I started on my channel that I stopped because I didn't want to worry about having to upload it. I just wanted to play the game, Hearts of Iron 4. You know, it's a game I love, but I want to play it off, you know, camera because I don't have to deal with, oh shit, you know, doing something wrong in the game, then you have to cut out a whole episode or something. I just wanted to be able to play it, and I lose, and if I don't, you know, something off camera that I don't have to be, so, you know, I can play music and listen and play it and stuff like that, and not have to worry about copyright and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of the reason why on my live stream I started doing Twitch is so that I didn't have to worry about copyright. I didn't have to worry about what people said and things like that. Even though I'm not big enough to be monetized yet, but I don't want to have to worry about it later when I am big enough and I do monetize everything. You know. So it is what it is, and I don't know. But somebody made a good point that if I live stream to YouTube, then I can just either delete it or whatever after I'm done. You know, and whatever's whoever sees it is what sees it. But I think it kind of takes the fun out of it too. If you ask me anyway.
Yeah.
So, I guess what else we want to talk about? Had some conversation.
Any special upcoming events that could be interesting for every viewer that's watching on any of the streams that would be coming up with either an SAF or in a side group?
Somebody's going.
Well, I know that the stuff that we're releasing from TRB is probably none like we've ever put out before.
Oh no!
And
absolutely not.
you know, you're going to be in for a treat, and this does go to a lot of what we were talking about. How, you know, Ocean nailed it. We went into TRB and kind of kept it legit, and we have a lot of fun in these last videos, so you definitely check them out.
Oh, for sure.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, and that goes for anybody that's you know all the names I believe up here on a list have Ocean doesn't have it on his, but you know have
Ocean
YouTube channels, and you should go check out the YouTube stuff and subscribe to them and binge watch all their stuff and shoot them with likes and comments and all that. I know personally I try to respond to all my comments as much as possible, especially when I'm not 18,000 subscribers. But you know, I try to have that interaction and try to do what I can do.
That's something I definitely want to get more YouTube videos out, especially with the SAF, just because it's always nice to see like different YouTubers that interact with each other within communities, and you actually see every aspect. You can see like your aspect as the Civ, but then see Duck's aspect as the LEO and Ocean's as the fire that's on scene, and it's like you get every aspect and every angle when you actually watch multiple YouTubers that actually deal with the same exact community or whatever.
Yeah,
they actually can see it.
And even for me, like all the TRB stuff, all the SAS stuff, I go and I try to watch everybody's stuff, even though I know what's going to happen. Because particularly if I was there and on scene, I know what the outcome is. But I don't know what it is through your eyes. And how you see it, how you portray it. Because you could see Ocean run a stop sign, but for me, I see him speeding and I'm running a stop sign. You know, so for me watching it, I'm like, damn, I missed that ticket, you know? But it is what it is.
A good example was when Lenny was riding with me and we hit the gas pump.
Yeah.
Because for Ocean, we just like floored it into the gas pump and exploded and died. But on my screen, I was nowhere near the pump. So I was like, damn.
And it just exploded on his screen, and like all you hear hit before we split after we died, he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, man? I didn't even touch it.
Yeah,
it looked like an IED, like it just blew up.
Well, that happened tonight with the the mortars. On my screen, a mortar came between the Ocean and I. On Ocean's screen, I got blown the hell up.
Yeah, it's like you see all those different aspects, and you can see like what Major saw, how the thing literally missed, or for most of us, how the freaking mortar literally missed his head. Yet he was able to see it just pretty much dart right over his head.
Right. Yeah, it's just that's the beauty of the internet and games and everything, is that things happen, even though the same outcome comes along. Little bitty things happen differently that lead up to that outcome. And
even if I was going to say, even some of us aren't even on scene at the same time as others. So you might be watching a patrol. Say you watch one of Ocean's videos and he's in a patrol for SAF. And then you go watch, say, Les 10's video, and he doesn't see Ocean all night, but you'll hear Ocean over the radio. And you'll be like, oh, shit, I know what was going on over there. But now you get to see what else was happening that night, not just one point of view.
Yeah.
And not just the same call. It's cool it was almost like you're there, and you have the full picture of how that entire night went.
Well, kind of a sneak peek of that is that the other night when we did the not mandatory, but the Southern Map Patrol, I think some people released stuff and some haven't from that. But,
mine's getting there.
All of the stuff that Ocean was doing up in, I would say, the north part of the Southern Map, I'm anxious to see, because I heard it all over the radio, but I have no idea what was going on. And
I like it when, if I'm running Civ that night, I don't see what's going on with all the Leos and vice versa. It's cool to see other people's videos, especially if you're like a Civ one night, and, a lot of other stuff, Civs are doing their own things, and, it's fun to see the different angles, and I've seen, like in some of my videos, I never even knew that there was a crime scene like 2 feet from me.
Yeah.
Or I say more like 10 feet or something from me. And then back and you look at somebody's videos, like, oh, I was there. Or like the other night, Ocean, without giving out anything, on a scene, I was standing in a little bit distance with some binoculars, and I was just watching a crime scene happen, and he never knew I was there. So he got to see a little bit of a different angle of what was going on, or like an overhead
terrifying angle.
Well, that was just to get a close up. I wasn't going to kill nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my job.
May have looked like it. Well, sorry, I got to get off. I got bedtime and work.
Before you do it, I just put my overlay as the image of you getting blown up by a mortar and not dying.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that. I just seen that. That's
interesting.
Yep, I'm dead. On yours. And mine is a lot closer to you than it was me.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you have a good night then, Doc.
So
try not to work
take
too
care,
hard.
YouTube Bill, Oceanographers, Stark's people,
Stark Army.
Stark Army. That's right. And I will see you on the next.
I haven't named my people. That's what we should do. We should name my people.
You and Duck
Mine are
gotta do
duck.
that, yeah.
Oh no, mine are ducklings.
Okay.
Mine's
I made it simple.
I can't remember what I think mine was always either Shadow Squad or something like that.
Duck, you should have made yours the ugly ducklings.
Nice. I like that.
That's reserved for the sheriff's department, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All the
My Master
garbage
Sergeant's the
deputies.
biggest one.
He's the biggest turd of them all.
Turd. I didn't say
the
turd,
leader
but
of the
sure.
ugly ducklings.
This Papa
Well, then
Duck.
what would your troopers be then, Stark?
Six
They're
is
fucking
fine.
state troopers, man. That's all you got to say is a state trooper. And everybody's, oh shit, a state trooper. Oh my god.
Most people quiver in their boots when that happens. It's
Yeah.
like
They're shaking in their boots.
you would think we're the freaking ATF or something, you know? Telling you.
I had
Yeah,
somebody the
this
other
is-
night told me that they absolutely hated me when I'm LEO. I'm just
That's
a
good.
dickhead to
That's
everyone.
what they should do. You know, if they're terrified of you because you're an LEO, it's because they're always doing something wrong, and they're always, it's always a guilty conscience. And I hate to be that way, but it's true, and that's how most people are in real life too. They see a cop and they're like, "Oh shit, you know, is he gonna turn around after me?" Well, the fact of the matter is, and me included, if you're having to think that, it's because you're speeding, or you're
Shit, I'm
you
just
got
like
something
waving at him.
wrong,
Yeah.
You know,
Like, what's up, man?
I always drive 5 to 10 over the speed limit, but bottom line, I live in Texas, and if y'all ever been to Texas,
Whatever. I've
Listen.
heard that those horses.
No,
are
I live in
fine.
Texas, so if
No,
you're...
You will find out, all right? You will find out if you ever come to Texas. If you don't
I've
do
been to
80,
Texas.
if you don't do 80, you're getting run over.
That's true.
It's like the New York State Thruway.
It doesn't matter where you're at. You could be in the middle of downtown Dallas. You will get ran over.
Jesus. By all those big trucks and shit.
Big trucks, 18-wheelers, you name it.
Priuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Priuses, yeah.
Okay. I have a
Supercharged
opinion.
Priuses.
I have
I
an
think
opinion.
the plural for Prius is Priusi.
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 So,
A stampede of
I thought it was
Priusi.
pricks.
I have
Oh, that's even better.
That's better.
So as an
stampede of
example,
pricks.
I was working tonight, delivering pizza. I was out on the main interstate here near my house, going 5 miles up the road. I'm doing 85 with speed limit 65. All right, I get passed by a highway patrolman.
What?
Yes, by a highway patrolman. I'm passed like I'm sitting still. No lights, no code, no nothing. That's their normal driving routine out here. And then I get passed by a Prius.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not even kidding. And I'm driving a pretty nice, pretty powerful car. I mean, you know, it's
All of a sudden you hear a
well, I didn't even
The
hear the
fuck?
state trooper. He was driving a brand new Charger. I didn't hear him.
Oh, okay.
See, and we have the little Tauruses, or I mean, like, yeah, the Taurus out here.
Yeah.
Freaking
You
highway
know
patrol. What?
The only highway patrolman I saw in Kansas was FEIU.
Really?
I didn't think you saw one at all.
I saw,
I saw one on the way
Ohio
out.
State one that was
Saw
a
one in town.
Charger.
It was out on 70.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So,
When I was traveling out towards Colorado and came back, I passed through Nebraska. I saw a Nebraska state trooper, and I'm not even kidding, a Chevy Impala. What are you gonna do on a highway in a Chevy Impala if you get a pursuit?
No.
that's what
Calling for a
actually-
helicopter.
Yeah.
When,
Can we get Air One over here to Interstate?
Yeah. When the
Ow.
the Impala that you used to own, Ocean, when those first came out, Missouri State Highway Patrol switched to those. And
Really?
I kid you not, six months later, they were switching out to the Tahoe.
Our Impalas are good just because they're quick. Like they have good acceleration on them
Oh, yeah.
and good handling for like urban areas would be really good to use them in because they're small, compact, and they can maneuver really well, like for base housing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But there's really no open roads. Plus, our pursuit policy is unacceptable. You don't do that. You don't pursue because all you can do is they just lock the freaking gates down. You know, and then we just sit there and just bolo. They're done. They're screwed. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and you're right about the urban area thing, because New York City is one of the, if not highest, people that had purchased Chevy Impalas because they were good for urban areas and they could take a beating. And I loved the thing. It was front wheel drive. It did amazing in the snow. But and it had good acceleration, but it wasn't, its top end wasn't as good as other vehicles, and that was its downfall.
Right. All right, real quick, I'm gonna head off before I get yelled at.
All right, later, Duck. Thank you.
I'll talk to you boys later, and everybody have a good night.
Peace out.
See you, Sheriff.
Take care, guys.
Yep. But
you know what? Quit being illiterate.
Hey, not being illiterate.
Quit being a realist.
Yeah. I am very much a realist. I am very much a realist.
I'm a little.
Good.
Well, I have a question that's kind of for the group, because I'm getting out really soon and I'm moving back home, but I'm a little worried about my channel because I'm not going to be able to make any content for like 2 months.
Why is that?
And I'm trying to. I'm getting out of the Marine Corps and I'm moving home, but I have
He's got a lot of stuff he has to do first in order to.
It's not even. I don't even think it's that compared to what he's explained to me. But go ahead, start. Let's let him explain it.
Yeah.
So when I get out of the Marine Corps on the 30th, which is a Saturday, it's
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So I get out, I get my DD-214, my discharge, and after that I'll have to move home. When I move home, all my shit's already moved, my house is already empty, and that's why I'm living in the barracks right now. But the issue is the house that I'm going to has like just ass internet, terrible internet. So I won't be able to play 5M.
Oh, great.
Won't be able to stream.
Great.
So yeah, that's what I'm.
Love it already.
So what I'm getting at is there's really nothing I can do until about 2 months, so a month and a half after my discharge, which is on the 30th, which will be October 15th. That's around the time frame that I'm supposed to get my separations pay, which is a $30,000 check from the government, and then my VA hits, which
Don't you
is
get like 3,000 something a month or something.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm 100% disabled veteran, so it'll be $3,087 a month. Now then, we can move out of there and then get our own home, and I can start back up and get everything rolling again. But for that month and a half, 2 month time frame, I'm kind of wondering, like, what's your guys' input? What do you think I should do? Do you think I should pre-record and just have like one a week come out?
No, I would. You gotta need more than that, I think. To maintain the growth that you've been going, you're gonna need to do a few a week, I think, personally.
At least 2 or 3.
That's coming from somebody that's a fairly small channel. Hey, the largest channel here is Ocean, and he might be able to kick in a little bit, but I think at least 2 to 3 a week.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
To maintain 2 to 3 a week plus pre-record 2 to 3 a week, you're gonna have to do every single day between
now and
multiple hours a day between now and the 30th.
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be more.
It's a hell of a grind.
It's going to be more or less.
Part 3s.
And well, the problem with that though is that because on TRB we always record the same stuff, so everyone's already going to know what's happened. They're going to click on it and be like, "Oh, I've already seen this," and they'll just click right off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you're
save that episode later.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're putting that episode out 3-4 weeks later, they may not be like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. They may be like,
oh shit, what happened?
And like refresher, type of thing.
And it's not even that; it's like a different perspective almost.
Yeah,
especially if you had an actual part and someone's like, "Dang, I wish I could have seen his role in this."
Yeah, exactly.
I'd recommend explain to your community like that you're going on a move, and then just say it's going to be on pause for a bit.
Right.
And then you can pick it up from where you left.
That might be an option too. I would say, might be a good face reveal. And I know you said you don't want to do that, but might be a good just sit down. Hey, we need to talk face to face, one-on-one, man-to-man type of thing. And hey, this is what's going on. I'm moving to a different state. The internet's not that great. I'm not going to be able to do content like normal, but I'm going to attempt whatever.
Right. Now, if you try and do the content, It's gonna be like how we were up last night. You and it's gonna be till 5 o'clock in the morning, till when?
Yeah, it's gonna be basically from. Bex, are you on push talk?
No.
Okay, you just keep cutting off.
Yeah, I told. I think
my mic sensitivity is fucked.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious to know what Ocean's input is on that.
Well, one thing I've noticed, and it's the weirdest phenomenon, and I know it's what every YouTuber worries about when they have to take a hiatus, and it's this weird thing that subscribers do, that when someone isn't making content anymore, like it goes on where like, oh, they stop making videos. They have the subscribers have this idea of, I'm just going to unsubscribe from them then. But I don't understand that, because it's like, well, it's not like on your daily feed of videos that are coming out of people you subscribe to. It's not affected. It's just one less video showing up. It's not like it's cluttering you just by that person not making videos anymore. It doesn't make any sense. So I never understood why people unsubscribe.
Freeing up space.
Yeah, but for what? Because like it's not like you have a limited slots of like people you can subscribe to. It makes no sense. But because I can actually tell you from my analytics, this is the interesting part, and this is the real reason why it's a thing to worry about. If I go to my analytics here, which you guys can't see, but if I go to my subscriber count here, let's see. In the last 28 days, I've gained 4,800 subscribers. However, I've lost 347. That's a significant number, but that's normal. Like I've looked into it, because I was always worried about my subscriber loss. I'm like, wow, why am I losing this so many people? Why is my retention not, great? But that's actually just a normal number. So the thing is, the way you keep gaining subscribers is to keep putting out content, because the way the algorithms work with YouTube is that the more active you are, the more your content gets bumped into an area where people can discover it, like the suggested videos on the side of someone else's videos, search engines, whatever. Excuse me. So when you stop becoming active, you become less of a priority to those algorithms, and you start seeing a decline in gained subscribers, and you start seeing the normal subscriber lost subscriber part just taking over. And it doesn't really change. It just kind of takes over because the gain goes down. But my thing is that, even if you do take a hiatus and you start seeing, people unsubscribing at the normal rate that they've been doing, just because that's a normal thing, once you get back into the groove of making content again, you're just going to start gaining them again. Like there's millions or billions of people out there. I almost sound like Carl Sagan there. There's billions and billions of subscribers that they will they'll come back. They'll come back when you'll always have more. So it's not a big deal to have a hiatus. I know everyone worries about it, and I know if I was in your boat too, I'd be like, okay, how do I keep going? And yeah, one video a week, maybe I would probably do 2 videos a week at least, like do like a Tuesday, Thursday kind of thing, or Monday, Friday, whatever.
Right.
Just to show that you're there, But
the
biggest thing that I've realized is it's not the amount of videos a week that you put out, but it's consistency.
Yeah,
that you put out, and that's scheduling at the same time every day. That's if you choose to do a Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
What about quality?
Quality, obviously it matters in my opinion, but not as much as consistency. It's not that hard in today's world to record in 720p. 720p is plenty good enough. Because the bottom line is, from my aesthetics, I don't know from Ocean's, 90% of my views are on mobile devices.
I'm not talking about video quality, content quality.
Well, pretty much the content quality has been the same throughout the entire time I've been uploading to YouTube for about a year now. There's not really been any difference besides we've become more realistic. Now, I say that, but I do go back and watch some of my original DDS stuff and OCDS stuff, Ducks, and then BCLE stuff, and then to Triple R, and then to us, here, and I see the differences, but I don't see a quality issue outside of we weeded out a few people here and there.
I have a question though.
Hmm.
What was the reason that you guys went from? Oh my God, my mic! What's the reason you went from BCLD to? Yeah. God fucking damn it! God, yes. To SAF.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't get into that.
Yeah,
that was all background stuff.
Yeah, it was really command BS. Is really what it was, and it wasn't anything to do with us. It was all on somebody else, and we're not going to go into details and go into why it happened, but it just it was just background stuff. That's really all it was.
Yeah, and like I said, like SAF was born out of the fire of that, which is a great thing, So
yeah, out of the fire of Triple R. Yeah, probably more than anything. But I have to say, over the last year and a half, we've learned what to do and what not to do, and we are doing everything 100% as what to do, not what not to do. And so, if you ever see anything come down on the board, it's because A, we've talked about it a really long time. B, we've hashed it out and put it up against what we've done in the past. And if it works, if it worked, we work with it. If it doesn't, then we either table it and never go back to it, or we modify it and make it work. And that's my opinion, my take on it. Obviously, Ocean's a totally different person. He could have a totally different opinion on that, but
yeah, it's
if you could even see a glimpse at the crap we talk about on a daily basis of just different stuff between. Sorry, Stark, I forgot you were in here too. That's a board member. my bad. But it's a lot of it's useless crap that we have to address, and a lot of it is stuff that we have to actually address and come up with a solution to and all that. But I want to throw out that the board really only maintains the Discord server. It has really nothing to do with the 5M stuff. And the 5M stuff is all done through the command aspect of it. So 5M is really governed and controlled by some of the board members, but the board members also have other people that help them. Like Les helps me, and Stark helps me. And Ocean will have somebody that helps him once he gets the fire department on the ground. And Duck has multiple people that help him underneath him. And that's what we all work on for the 5M side of it.
And it's not just the board members, it's more or less the deputies and the and everybody else.
Yeah, correct. It's up to the person in command to run their department. And run it how they choose to, And I learned a long time ago that I can't do it on my own. I tried. Which is why now, even now, when we're in 5M, I am very rarely a supervisor. I let Stark do that. I let Les do that. I let other people do that. I'm not doing it. If they're tied up and they have to do it, and I have to go and do it, then I will. But that's it. And there's very like even if it's just me and Red the other day on the server, he was the He was the acting supervisor, not me.
Kind of think of it last night. Think of it last. Yeah, I was gonna say, think of it last night. Whenever I think it was Stark and Duck that were the supervisors, and I was just there helping out. But after they left, I had myself and Razy to actually be the supervisors at the time until everything started messing up. Even though I think Red and a few others were actually down in civilians, which you could still keep an eye on everything, but...
Aw, you deleted my comment. Stark.
Less.
Oh, okay, I know what... Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was for. Okay, sorry, continue.
No, I mean, it's just like after that, I mean, I'm still technically trying to get back into the swing of actually being a supervisor in patrols again, because I was going through several weeks.
That higher up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's I mean, even then, I mean, it's still fun, like Womack said, to not have to be the one to be really concerned with all the help that could be needed for things if somebody doesn't know exactly what they're supposed to do, or just need a supervisor in general for a supervisor call by the civilian. I mean, it's fun to actually get to go around with the others and actually patrol instead of having to actually make sure things are going like it needs to.
Right. I mean, or how Red did it, how he used to do all of those ride-alongs. We put him on a vacation. Now he can do Civ, regular ride-along, do whatever you want.
Right. And you know, we're doing that. Damn, somebody's messing with their mic.
Sorry.
One of those mooses out there jumping around. What? Yeah, exactly. And that gives also myself and Ocean all options to go and run and do things. We used to do things together in roleplay all the time, where we would have coinciding stories and we would move along. And we're starting to get back into that without giving too many details away about the future. We're starting to roll some stuff out like that because we have built a command structure below us that we feel confident in. And,
right.
You know,
and now, when it was first starting up, you couldn't really do that.
No, absolutely not.
You didn't have that command structure. Yeah.
That being said,
it was basically dependent on you guys.
Yeah, for sure. That being said, I want you to know that even though we may not be supervisors, we are always watching everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, we do. We drive by scenes, we watch scenes,
We're watching you.
Yeah, we do. And
when they don't find you, other people do. And
absolutely.
Everybody reports stuff,
Yeah, and it's the report structure is an open door, you know, and that
you could be a cadet and notice something, or a ride along and notice something. It doesn't matter where you are. Yeah,
I've had cadets. I've had people that aren't even a part of the server, or are not even a part of the roleplay aspect of it.
Oh.
And watch videos and go, what the
is that?
What?
Are you the husband of that lady? Is that who your guy is?
I wouldn't blame him for trying to take off in the middle of the highway then.
What?
What? At least she didn't put him over my face. Thank God. But
well, of course it's over his face because that's who he is. What?
Yeah. So we're always paying attention to everything that goes on in the server.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to actually have, I mean, a lot of places, not naming names or anything, but that people like myself, or now Vexic and with Les and others, that you don't really get to have much say or don't really get to do much as a supervisor during patrols or anything, because ownership or the directors or whatever have always been so controlling over it, and actually have a place like this where we actually are trusted to do what we need to do and make sure things are done correctly, and actually have our actual title actually mean something instead of it just being a placement plaque or place.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, when we were in the infant stages of starting, even BCLE, as far back that far, we've said there is no placeholders. You know, you have to be. That's
you
why
have a
rules,
rank for a reason.
Well, not even just ranking officers. Everybody. You know, we put into the rules. You have to be at X amount of patrols a week. You know, or you have to equal out to X amount of patrols a week. I mean, you could technically do 5 in 1 week, and it would count towards whatever. But if we start to see you fading off of that, we're gonna come and say, hey, what's going on? You know, particularly if you're at every single
that way
patrol.
you can get a LOA tag or something.
You know, and if you don't respond, sorry, you know, it doesn't matter who you are. You know, if it's us, the board members, well, guess what? You know, something's gonna happen.
Right, like, to give an example, like, I've been at almost every patrol. Like, if I were just to disappear off the face of the earth, then you guys would try and contact me, basically.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, for some people in this server have my cell phone, and will text me if something's going wrong. Say, hey, or text me if they haven't seen me in a while. Say, hey, is everything all right? You know, and that's great. You know.
That way, in case you can't physically tell them yourself, you can tell those other people, hey, can you tell so and so that blah this and that.
Well, even hey, if I got something personal going on, I don't want anybody but that's like knowing. I'll post it in the board or somewhere that's private.
Right, like a DM or something, or in a different server with just you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the TRB server, that would be a good place because all those guys are my brothers. I trust all of them. They're not gonna. They may say, "Hey, he's on LLA. He's gonna be on LLA for a while," but they're not gonna give away why.
God, Stark, seriously. I saw that.
What?
Seems a bit too close. Oh. Wait, never mind. Okay, continue.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see it now. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
God, I felt like so out of place. Everyone was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck, sorry."
Yeah, you're like, "Oh shit." Oh, I guess I kind of.
Yeah, I guess I kind of fucked up.
But it's definitely.
Fuck,
what in the hell?
I mean, definitely from being in.
What is that?
Wait.
What?
I mean, definitely from the points of starting off. I forgot how long it was ago that I started, but actually getting to interact more off server with you guys, it's definitely been a changing experience because most of the time people just get on to chat randomly and patrol or things like that, but they don't really ever have the interaction.
Stay for the after party or the or like before the pre-patrol. Like usually before the patrol, I'm usually on at like 4 o'clock and I'm just chilling. Like that's just me. But oh my god. But wait.
That's something I believe that sets our community apart from others.
Exactly.
Is how that our higher ups don't sit in the shadows and not talk to us. If you were in and obviously people are not allowed to be in our main Discord at all.
Yeah.
If you were to be able to see the interact, it's not that active, but until about 2 to 3 because people have work, they have class.
Yeah,
and then when people start getting home, we hop on and we just start talking to each other and stuff. And that's what separates us because I can hop on any time and I can see, Womack hops in. Not many admins will hop into a general chat on most servers. Our admins always do. They're always in general. They're always talking to everybody. Yeah. And that's what makes us more of a tight-knit community because, it's not like we have the guys at the bottom that are just talking with each other. Everybody's talking together.
That's really part of the reason why we...
To give an example, I mean, Trooper Stark he's a major, he's a higher up, and I'm only a W2, but literally last night we played for X amount of hours, and it's just that type of thing, It
was like 4 hours.
It was squad before 12 o'clock, and then once 12 o'clock hit, it was another 5 hours.
Yeah, you're right.
like that. Like I have never sat in a Discord that long before. Like that was insane.
It's like the farming or the farm sim stuff. Wow.
God.
Sleeping
the
duck.
farm sim stuff. Work
oh my god.
Doing the.
I can't wait to see what you find for me out there. Jeez.
Oh my god.
Like I was saying, though, actually, when okay, calm yourself, X. It ain't that funny. Goddamn.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
Fucking hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but like I was saying, though, actually, doing the farm sim server with Womack and Red and Tiger, Caden and Doug. I mean, it's definitely fun to actually. It's definitely fun to actually have the interaction, especially working together as a community in that part, or even the squad portion that all of us were doing tonight. I mean, it definitely was. It takes back and gets to have more than interaction than being serious.
Exactly.
Be like, hey, Exec, you messed up on this certain scenario and stuff like that. You can do this and things like that. It's actually, hey, let's just go fuck around and have fun.
Exactly. It's not. It's not all about nitpicking and being serious and straight to the bone. It's just more of a relaxed kind of thing when you can play other games with higher ups. That way you form a better connection with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like when that bomb
Don't get us wrong. If you do something wrong, we're gonna call you out. We're gonna fix it, and we're gonna move on.
Right.
That's
well,
serious.
because you guys see everything.
Oh yeah,
it's
pretty much.
Right.
They're pretty much our personal stalker.
Yeah,
I mean,
basically.
Vexic, what did you say to me last night when we were messing around the game?
Oh, you come off as a fucking strict ass person, but literally, like after we played last night, like I have a whole perspective on you.
You have a what? You have a cutout?
Whole different perspective on you. I am sorry that my mic is a piece of fucking shit right now. Okay.
Are you sure it's your mic and not your settings?
It's probably.
Yeah, I think it's your settings.
Yeah.
I already told you to lower your decibels before.
I mean, I can definitely agree with that though, because I mean, from when I first met Stark and I first met,
I can fix that though on my side.
When I met Womack and Stark, I mean, yeah, I thought they were pretty strict at first, but getting the one-on-one time with others and actually playing different games, I mean, you definitely tell that everybody in the staff is relaxed. It's just when it's time to be serious and time to do what you're supposed to do, they really step up if somebody isn't.
Wow.
Wow. Shots fired by Duck.
Yeah, Duck, go to bed. Look at the bottom right corner.
Yeah, that's
do that.
He's gonna tell you. He's gonna say. He's gonna say, Vexic, go back to the academy.
Yeah. No, that's Morris.
I'll take him back to the. No, I'll take him back to the academy for you.
TO heads back to the academy.
Yep.
Yeah.
that would be some shit right there.
God.
Oh, that'd be pretty bad.
Tell me to go to bed one more motherfucking time.
But I'm definitely looking forward to more
of
the live streams and things like that. Doing, God, Ocean's having too much fun now.
Am I the one on the very left?
I don't know.
I think you're the second
I think that's
one.
me. Fuck you.
I just realized the name tag you gave me.
I try to do it as subtly as possible.
I saw it.
So I just slide across the screen.
Yeah, I just see a little black smudge going across the screen.
That's fantastic. I need that for my name badge in the game.
Official.
Oh yeah,
asshole.
Yeah,
I
do
which
agree
one
with
I am.
I agree with Duck's comment, and I think that's probably pointing towards the Vexic as well.
Yeah, probably.
About being an admin on Farm Sim 2, it's just that. So yeah, he won't have to give you money.
I saw it. I'll just be that guy that just walks around and asks for a change, and you know.
I thought everybody coming in now was gonna be a.
They are everybody. Yeah, everybody who's supposed to, well, at least according to Kate in the last time, that's what's supposed to happen is everybody's supposed to come as workers now.
Except for me.
No, like that was before you.
He goes, "LOL, I'll be a good ducky." It's funny.
So, anybody else got any other questions they would like to ask since we're doing question time about SAF now?
What was the initial thought when I joined?
Well, okay, so.
Well, are you talking about SAF or TRB?
So I think he's talking about TRB, not TRB. I think he's talking about BCLE.
Triple R.
So my first initial thought of Stark was, holy shit, he can freaking edit. So I found his stuff. I don't remember how I found his stuff. Hold on. What did that say? Walmart bitched at me until I let you join. That's pretty much true. I was a fanboy. I was a Stark fanboy, and I wanted to get in to BCLE. And I don't remember how I found his stuff, but I actually posted his video in Triple R. Sorry, Triple R. I keep saying BCLE, but it's Triple R. And I posted his video in, and I remember when he finally got in, he's like, "Hey, that's my video." I was like, "Yeah, I posted it. You know, I really like the edits and stuff." So he's very good, if you haven't noticed, with Rockstar Editor. And that's what caught my attention. And
we got a good 15 seconds last night, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, that's all it took you?
Well, that was all that lasted after we spawned the demons.
We literally spawned the demon, and we just fucking went. Like, it was like 3 hours at least. It was fun as shit.
Damn, yeah, the demon's a fun car.
Good.
So yeah, it was fanboying, and I was like on the command until finally we got him in there. And So Triple R, I was not a part of command at all. I was, I think, a corporal or something, you know, and which was the lowest rank I've ever. Well, not the lowest rank I've ever held in a server, but it was the lowest rank in a long time I've held in a server. And so we got him in there, and it's kind of from there. And once we figured out that Triple R was kind of going down, and we decided to come over here, it was like, well, you know, he needs to be a higher up. And he's very good at training, and I think the Marine Corps has a lot to do with that.
Oh yeah.
So that was, he's pretty much head LC,
FTO.
Yeah. I'm getting tired now. Pretty much head FTO, and pretty much just built the training system y'all know today by himself, and I just kind of let him go and do what he needed to do personally.
Right.
And whatever he needed to do it. And if he needed to kick somebody, kick somebody. He didn't, you know. That's the thing about the FTOs and the trainers. You all don't have to have permission to remove somebody. You know, if you need to remove them, remove them. And if you're too much of a wimp to do it, come see Officer Asshole. He'll take care of it.
And my first impression of Stark, and it was funny because it was actually because of you, Justin, because there was at one point when we were in Triple R where I wasn't paying attention to the new people coming in, and I kind of had a mild can I duck? I kind of had a mild hiatus from the server for a while.
Fuck! I can't correct it.
What? Oh,
I messed up.
You just suck at spelling.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I wasn't really paying attention to coming in, but I kept hearing like Justin talking about Stark, and I'm like, all right, I haven't patrolled with the guy, you know, and at the time we were forming the Rebel Brotherhood, you know, alongside this, and he's like, hey, you know, he might be our fourth guy, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, calm down and let me like at least patrol with the guy like once or twice to get what his deal is before we go make a decision on this. Like I want to get to know the guy, and then you know, eventually, you know, did and stuff like that. But like, yeah, and I'm like, I was, you know, patrolling with him, like, oh, it's pretty cool. And actually, there's some footage I never put up. It was right before we left Triple R, which was kind of like one of my favorite moments with Stark. It was there was a call of like a stolen money truck that had a bomb in it.
What the hell?
Yeah, and it was like, you know, it never made YouTube because we left Triple R after that, and I didn't feel right to put the footage up. But it was basically the stolen money truck, and I was on like a golf cart doing my own thing, and I see this guy just take off on foot from the money truck, and all the cops go after him, and I'm like, cool, here's my chance to get some free money. I'm gonna go steal the truck. So I steal the truck, and I drive it to another part of Sandy Shores, and I get out of it because I see a cop circling the corner, no lights or anything, and I'm like, well, I'm in the stolen money truck. It's pretty obvious. So I get out, I run, and but I wanted to get back to it. So I'm waiting for the cop to come around the corner so I could go back to the truck, get in it, and leave. It never happened. So I started to blend in with
traffic and
with actually just pedestrians. I went up to, there's like a house behind.
Was this in the city or in Sandy?
No, Sandy.
Sandy.
Okay.
And behind Ace Liquor, I parked it in the parking lot of Ace Liquor, and I jumped over the fence. There's a
oh, you went that little scrapyard kind of thing?
No, just
well,
sort of.
Yeah, it's like the little like the junkyard almost.
Yeah, and so there's a house back there with a porch on, like a deck on the roof. So I'm blending in with the NPCs up there, and Stark kind of like comes over because they saw a guy in a red sweatshirt. I was an easy target, and he comes over. He starts talking to me about, yeah, you know anything about the stolen money truck? No, I don't know anything about that. I don't know what you're talking about. And long story short, he arrests me because they figure out like, you know, the officer saw me get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, what were you thinking? I'm like, you know, man, like I saw an opportunity. Like I don't have a lot of money, and I saw an opportunity to like, you know, like it was like my lottery ticket right there, sitting in the middle of the road, and I took it. And he goes, yeah, well, guess what, you dumbass? There was a bomb in the back of that thing, and I had no idea that was the role play going on with that. And like in the video, I am like legitimately like I like sort of broke character. I was kind of like, wait. You fucking serious? Like, I was
your
so
reaction
shocked.
was genuine.
I'm pretty sure that either I or Duck put that video out.
Maybe.
I think
I
it
remember
made
watching it.
YouTube. Yeah, I think it made YouTube. So you should probably go. Well, you could. All of my triple R footage and SAF footage are all in the same playlist, so you could go through my playlist and look and see. But by the time we got to SAF, this was the 4th time of switching communities, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna make another folder playlist. I'm just gonna roll it all into one. And
Which is what I did.
I think pretty much all of us that have switched from the beginning have done that. You know, 'cause if you go through, I got DDPS and I've got BCLE, and then it goes
SAF.
5M.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it goes GTA 5M, and that's where the last 2 have been grouped. And
Right.
it's I'm on 65 episodes now in that one, which is my largest playlist now, and probably where the vast majority of my views come from. So it's a rewarding experience. You know, if y'all don't do YouTube, I would suggest it. It's fun.
Right.
The only thing I have to say is you have to have thick skin because people can be cruel. You know,
And
they can be
the
rude.
time and dedication to it as well.
Yeah. I think my first kind of impression on Stark was One Ocean 10's video, The New Trooper in Town.
Oh.
That was the funniest video I have watched in a long time. Like that was just like the lines that he was saying were coming out of him, like it wasn't scripted, it wasn't anything. That shit was hilarious.
All right, fuck runner.
Yeah. He's like, all right, Adolf Hitler.
Yeah,
God.
Some of the stuff he breaks off is just like, okay, you can tell that that's a veteran speaking there.
Yeah.
You can tell that he's seen a few things. And then some of the stuff is just like, where the fuck did that come from? You know, type of stuff.
No, it was just hilarious, and it was just great. And then I met him, and I was like, "Fuck, he's kind of strict." And then last night just was like, "All right, maybe not."
Well, don't think I'm gonna go fucking easy on you.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? You know what?
Suck a little harder.
Yep.
There's a difference between fucking and sucking. All right.
So does that say official asshole or officer asshole?
Official.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Official.
can't see it either. I couldn't tell.
When I first glanced up, I thought it said officer asshole, and then it dawned on me, wait, I'm not an officer, I'm a trooper, so that ain't right. And then it dawned on me, wait, that says official, I think. So.
Technically, no one's an officer or a sheriff.
Well, yeah, that's technically true right now, but you know, vast majority of civs don't know that. They don't know the difference.
Well, yeah, they're like, all right, officer. It's like, I'm a sheriff, thank you.
Well, that's with with Primrose. She always calls the sheriff's department. She calls it the deputies department. And like half of it is stupidity, the other half is just to piss off the deputies.
Well, I mean, yeah, because like if you're like Morris, a master sergeant, you know, I'm not a deputy anymore, you know, or sheriff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not a deputy. I'm a sheriff, you know.
Right. So I have a question. I have a question, and this might help everybody here, but it's for Ocean. And how do you go about thinking up your characters, and how long does it take you to think up your scenes for your characters?
Character creation. That for me, now I've been doing role play for over 10 years now, and it's mostly been like text role play, like RPGs and stuff like that.
Oh.
So I've been doing this for a while. And you know, when it comes to character creation, it's like,
well, I can tell. It's all right.
It's like, all right, what do I? No, it's fine. It's like, okay, like what's the in a way, like I do, okay, what are they gonna look like? What's their name? And I kind of go from there. But I go from like it's kind of reverse what you should do. You should go with like personality, motives, like, you know, things like that.
Right.
And you know, like for example, like when I came up with Sam Savage, I wanted somebody who was obviously a professional car thief, and you know, but she's like she knows when it comes to stealing cars, like she knows she's the shit, like she knows she's good at it, so she has a bit of a arrogance that way, but she's also prides
There's a bit
herself.
of a higher ego almost.
Yeah, and that's also fed by the fact that she's never actually been caught, except for one time with Justin. But she's always gotten away. She's a good driver. She's my hard mode character. If you get into a pursuit with her, chances are you're not going to catch her. If you go back,
I'm a pretty good driver.
If you go back through my footage,
yeah.
For example, she fled in a tractor trailer and they lost her. So.
Okay, well, you know what? That's probably because I wasn't there for.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's trying to toot your own horn and think you're better than everybody. I see how it is now.
So, you know,
it's just a joke.
She's not too difficult, but like, you know, like Lenny and Primrose were the same kind of concept. Was that what kind of personality can I make up that would annoy the most people at one time? And I came up with the prissiest, rich, stuck-up, I don't even know what other word, bitch, basically.
Yeah.
That I could think of that would just be like, just flaunts her lack of regard for laws.
Her money, her daddy, her lawyer.
Yeah, her daddy's a lawyer, you know, like, she can get away with anything.
My dad's a lawyer, excuse me.
Excuse me. It's for my arthritis.
Yeah.
So, and then Lenny's
it's for my tenderitis.
Yeah. Lenny's just a big old nerd.
Tenderitis.
You know, he's just a fanboy of the you know, the cops and stuff, and he just. And it was mainly his character came into being. Actually, I could safely say that his character came into being simply to annoy Stark. That was basically it. That was the whole reason for creating that one. But yeah, when it comes to
it fucking worked. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Right along from hell, it fucking worked.
Oh yeah.
Lenny, get your fat ass in the car.
Well, he had some help on that.
One more time. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the working on him riding along. That whole thing was in the works for probably a solid couple of weeks.
Oh, and Stark didn't even know about it. That's the thing. Yeah, I remember him telling me. He was like, "Yeah, I had no idea about that."
He knew with the first, like, there's some videos out there, some interactions and stuff of it, and he's like, "Yeah, I would like to do a ride along." It's like, well, I'm sure we can make it happen, you know. And at the time, Stark wasn't a major or anything, you know, and so
he was just a trooper.
No, he wasn't even just a trooper. He was a staff sergeant.
Oh, okay.
Because he started out as a staff sergeant. He's never held a lower rank than that in this Highway Patrol. So it was like, yeah, we'll put you with Stark, and of course I knew that he was kind of a fanboy of Stark, so I was like, yeah, that we can make that work, you know. And I was just gonna push my rank around until I had to order him if I had to, and so. Then
I like the way that he writes his C.
Yeah, right.
I like the cursive in his C.
Yeah. So and then when Ocean messaged me, I was so upset because I couldn't be there because I had to work. And he was like, "Yeah, but tonight's the night." I'm like, "Fuck!" I tried everything I could to get out of it and get home, and I couldn't. So it was.
At least you got to watch the video from his perspective.
Yeah, I watched both sides of it, and it was great. And so yeah, the next ride along is gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
Wait, with me?
I have a new character in mind, and
I don't think it's gonna be with you.
Ocean already knows about it.
Okay.
Well,
it might be.
My final thoughts on character creation is that if you're gonna make it good and actually have like a really awesome, you know, design behind them that makes them like interesting and you know unique, is go with what are your motives and what are their motives and what is their personality and
what do they want to accomplish.
Yeah, and look at other characters that you see in what I love to do is go on any of your favorite like Netflix series or TV series or whatever and pick certain traits of different characters. Don't just take one character and say, okay, cool, everything that this character is about is who I'm going to make.
Right.
Take different traits. Like I don't know, like for example, Lenny has extreme anxiety. He talks a lot. He smells like blue cheese. That was actually that's actually from a real life story that I will never tell because it's about someone I know. But
no.
But you take different traits like that and you put them all together, and boom, you have a character.
Right.
So that's basically it. I mean, it's really simplified, I guess. But I'm gonna leave that as my final notes because I'm gonna go to bed because it's about 3 a.m. here, and
same.
I have some editing to do.
Well, I'm not even tired, and I'm pretty sure Stark isn't tired.
Well,
He
actually,
might be.
before you go, Ocean, there is actually something I wanted to ask you, the Colonel, and Stark.
I don't get a rank in front of my name. Cool.
Or Stark, it's always that way. I always forget his name.
What is your guys' thoughts on, based on, like, for myself, Les, and Vexic, who had came into this whole thing after everything came together, and putting what our knowledge was to help better SAO?
I got this one. If you guys don't mind.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God.
All right.
Hold on.
Put your body armor on, gentlemen.
Yeah. Hey,
No,
you have
no, no.
It's
It's mostly positive.
Oh, great.
No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
negative.
Honestly,
Great.
I think I speak for all the, original members when I say that it's been a tremendous help to have people that understand what is best for the community and how you guys help us keep the rules and keep everything in check to where we don't have to be, murdering ourselves every day trying to keep up with everything. Yeah, trying to keep up with everything, because I had stuff to do, checking out of the Marine Corps, and I'm head FTO. I need to be there, but I need someone I can trust, and that's where Les comes in with that. Vexic, you as well, and Morris, you as well. All three of you guys were just killing it. I didn't have to be there, which was astounding. It was great to not have to worry about, well, this guy's the least shitty, so I guess I'll have him supervise them. That's not what we want. What we want is people that we know have the same values as us to keep our server in line. And when I say ours, I mean as a whole, the entire command staff that runs the server. And you guys are just as important as we are, because when it comes down to it, if we're not there, you're the one running the freaking show. So that's how I look at it, and that's how I thank you guys and admire that. And I'm very glad that we can trust you and put that confidence behind you to carry out whatever the plan of the day is.
Yeah, and to build on that, like I love that, like in recent, the last 2 months, being able to see, if I'm not patrolling that night, or if we're doing, like, I don't know, if we decide to do it like a TRB thing that night instead, or we do squad or whatever, and to see like the majority of the high command not in that patrol, to still see a patrol going on, and then hearing later that, yeah, everything went legit, everything followed the rules for the most.
Yes.
Right. and like it nothing major happened because no one had the mentality of, oh, the board's not here, we can do whatever we want. It was literally everything still went good, and that's because of you guys, and it's really because of everyone. But it's like, yeah, the command staff, that is the line officers, they're the
ones that are more,
you guys are the backbone.
The backbone, and you keep it going while we're not there.
Mm-hmm. I agree with everything both these guys have said, and the only thing I can say on top of that is memorize the rules, know them, and if somebody breaks it, don't be afraid to say something to them. And that goes for anybody all the way down to a deputy, or a sniff. If you catch somebody breaking the rules, you need to address
say something. Speak up.
And if you're afraid to say something, definitely come to a command officer, come to a board member, or come to the head of the department. And
Right.
I guarantee you, anybody in any of those positions will definitely say something, and if they don't, they have you to answer to. And
Right.
I don't say that to try and be hard ass. I say that because I want SAF to be successful. I don't want it to fall into the realm of what most communities and clans do, and that's lasting 3 to 6 months. I don't want that to happen. I want this to last for years.
Right.
When GTA 6 comes out and 5M becomes 6,
Releases it, yeah. Right.
SAF to be one of the first ones to switch over to. And so, that all being said, I just want it to continue going. And the only way we can do that is with the people below us. We can't do it on our own. We've tried. And we
It doesn't work. Right.
we have to have people below us. And it's much like where the Stark's background in the military comes in, where they have multiple people in line to keep multiple things going. That's how we have it too. We have multiple people in line to keep multiple things going. There's always moving machinery and moving parts behind the scenes. Always. Not a second goes by in a
Right. Right. You don't like putting people down. You don't like destroying their confidence when they do something wrong. I mean, it's horrible. Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, and on top of that, it's like you don't know what's going on in their life. Like, just ruin their day. You know, like it's like I've had multiple like times where I've had to do something in different clans or communities or something like that. That it kills me to do, but I gotta do it. Like, you just gotta do what you gotta do, and as bad as it sounds, or as bad as you may come off as, you're just doing that to better the clan or the community.
Speaking about guys do what I gotta do, I gotta go.
But that's one of the things that I've noticed with when we do our stuff, and like not shutting people down. There's something we teach in the academy is that you don't ask people why you pulled them over. That's a dickhead thing to do. They know why the hell you pulled them over. You don't have to make them repeat it.
Oh, my stream just crashed anyway. So
yeah.
There's no reason, I thought you ended it.
There's no reason to be a dick to somebody and like, oh yeah.
No, I pulled you over today.
Why do you think I pulled you over today?
Yeah.
And it's really a smart ass, asshole type of thing to say.
Right.
It's so we teach people not to do that.
Right. I pulled you over today because of this, this, and this, and
then you move on.
Yeah. Jesus. Right. Exactly.
It's just they want you. They want to make sure you know what they did wrong and be able to tell them, because I mean, a lot of people nowadays, if you ask like, "Oh, why you pull you over?" then they're gonna in the back of their mind, everybody's good night, Ocean. Everybody's gonna.
Ocean.
All right. See you. Good night. Yeah. See ya.
Everybody in the back of their mind will actually think, "Well, hey, does he actually know why he pulled me over? Is this one of those crap pullovers where they didn't have probable cause or probable reason,
or just a bullshit reason?"
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's why it's being taught this way now. I mean, hell, I used to be it where I used to always ask them, "Do you know I pulled you over?" Because I want to make sure they know it. But doing that after going through the new step here at SAF, it's like, oh, well, now you think
it kind of falls back on you, like, oh shit.
Like, well, oh shit, did I actually know why I pulled them over?
Right.
Even though I tell them at the end, but it's just like, oh, doing it this way, you put everything out, you get everything going, so that way, hopefully, if it's a regular traffic stop, you can just keep moving on and be ready for if something terrible does actually go about.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And it's
a whole new perspective.
Yeah, for me, it's I walk up to a car and I'm like, well, the reason I pulled you over is X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And I just get straight to the point, because bottom line is I'm there to do a job, and that's the way I would look at it in real life too.
Right. Yeah.
I'm there to do a job, and unfortunately, my job is to catch you.
Right.
And if you
it's
were
to catch you and other people like you.
If you were doing 80 and a 30, well, guess what? You're getting a ticket. You're maybe going to jail, depending on the record. You don't have to take them to jail. That's all officer discretion.
Right.
You don't have to arrest somebody and take them to jail for.
And you don't have to give them a 50
like
over. You could give them a 25 over and cut it down.
Yeah, you could. And,
I mean,
and honestly, that would
a lot of people do it.
For me, depending on their record.
Right.
If they have a squeaky clean record and they don't have any tickets and no felonies, then why am I gonna book them a felony?
Yeah, like why am I gonna give you the worst part of everything when your record completely clean?
Yeah. Now, if they have a trouble pass and they're sketchy and things,
If they prior
like
for
that,
speeding or running red lights or traffic violations, then
Jim.
Yeah, like Jim. Exactly. Jim's kind of a sketchy, fast person. Now, that being said, there's been several times that I personally have let Jim walk. You know, and that was
more of
because
their attitude.
Yes, but
it's
it
more
also,
of compliance and.
No, you're wrong.
Oh,
You're wrong.
fuck! Sorry. Okay, sorry. God.
It's more what he does for us.
Right.
Jim gives us a lot of information for free. So why not let him pass off of a speeding ticket?
Also, real quick here,
or running red light, or
there's actually a question that came over my stream from MG Tanner. He said, "Did Trent MU leave?"
Trent was a part of Triple R, and he did not transition over here. He kind of retired from GTA. He's doing some, from my understanding, he's doing some modeling, but he's not really playing anymore. That's my understanding to it, anyhow. I'm not trying to speak for him or anything like that. If you're watching, Trent, I'm not trying to speak with you, for you.
Speak with you.
I'll speak to him. I spoke to him before, after the split. But, it's not anything like that. It's just,
it's just from what
speak for him.
Right. It's just what the information you've gathered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? While you still have 2 higher ups here.
What did you think of me when I first joined? When you guys got to know?
Oh, you were a dickhead.
Oh,
to be honest,
thank you.
To be honest, I haven't had very much interaction with you. Period. So mostly because you're sheriff's department and I'm not, and I just haven't had that kind of reaction. So or interaction. So I can't honestly answer that.
Yeah, I know that when I first knew him, it was me and you kind of. Zayas Vexley was like, "Hey, you trying to get in and do your training?" He was like, "No, I'm playing some baseball," and then that's kind of where me and him kicked off because we both play baseball and that's something we like to do. And I know that's something Colonel likes to do. I didn't even know if you knew that.
Yep.
And so we would.
Oh no, I had no idea.
Yeah, and so me and Vexley would talk, every about 2 or 3 times a week just about baseball, until he finally got back and was practically off of LOA and able to start.
Yeah, because there was a time for probably the almost majority of the entire summer I stayed for. So it was just kind of rough because I was in Ohio, and it was rough because it was every week. It was every weekend basically.
All right, Vexley, I gotta ask this question.
Yeah.
You got a job?
I do.
Good. Buy a freaking new mic.
Yeah. All right. Here's a question.
My settings. It's my setting. I swear.
Right, here's a question on my stream from Scotty Plays 23. Asked, what is everybody's favorite police vehicle? For mine, at least, it's been stuck between the
Mine's the Charger. I'll be right back.
So Major Starks is the Charger. For me, since I am now the Master Sergeant, have unlocked more. It's been stuck between the 06 Tahoe and the F350.
Morris, send me your stream.
Got it.
Yeah, send
the
it.
others want to.
Oh, you sent it.
Put it in the channel.
Hold it up yet. So for me, it's between 2 vehicles.
If you're in state, you know one.
Yeah.
It's the Harley?
Well, no, I do enjoy riding motorcycles. So yes, the Harley is one of them. But honestly, between cars, though, it would be either the Charger or the Chevy Caprice PPV, which we don't currently have in the server. I'm currently working on one, but it's got some issues, and that's what we're trying to work on. So, but for me, it's a Chevy PPV or the Charger. And real-life PPV is a badass vehicle. It's basically a 4-door Corvette, and it will frickin' fly. I've driven one. I've done all kinds of slaloms in one, and it handles good. It drives good. It's just a decent vehicle. Why more people don't use it is beyond me. Mainly because it's like 575 horsepower and it sucks the gas. I think that's really why people don't use it.
Yeah.
My favorite one would be the FPIU.
Oh,
you're gonna have to say that again, Les, because you're really quiet for me now.
Yeah,
mine would be the FPIU.
Jesus Christ. Mine is definitely the FPIU. Like, ever since I unlocked that.
Well, y'all's is different than ours, though. For the server, y'all have the one that has like the AOPRs and everything. That's why I don't really run mine. I run the Charger because it has all the cool fancy shit on it.
Yeah.
If we could get our, I believe somebody told me our skins won't work on that one. So
Correct.
if we could get a skin to work on that one, that would be amazing to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the reason why I'm thinking about either commissioning somebody to make some skins for us, or making them myself and going, and because then that would just open up all the vehicles in the server to everybody, and it would also open it up to where we could add vehicles, like the Caprice, for example. Now I'm working on the Caprice for TRB. Now, something I have to say is a lot of the stuff that we run in SAF, we've tested thoroughly in TRB.
Right.
Like, if you go back to some of our earlier episodes, and even like my intro, you'll see our state skin in TRB because we were testing it out there, and it's just one of my favorite things.
Right.
You know, to do so.
What would be your favorite then, Vex, on what you can utilize so far, or potentially can utilize in the future?
What I potentially can utilize. Hold on. 1 second here. 1 second. Hold on. All right.
I'm gonna get his dictionary from high school.
God damn it! I'm done with high school. Fuck you. I'd rather not do anything that involves books for a while. I would really like to drive the Harley, in my opinion, but I know I have to go. I would really like to do that. That would be my thing to do, which is the next rank for me, which is a car.
Right.
So
yeah, the Harley would be interesting to drive.
I would really like to drive it. Like, once I get up to that rank, I would really love to drive it.
Right.
So.
And another question from infamous FTW.
Just real quick, I'm probably gonna hop off, guys. So.
All right.
I'll see all of y'all later.
All right. Talk to you later.
Later, Les.
Yep.
Later, Les. Let's see. Like I was saying, he asked, what does everyone think of the new people coming in and the influx of new recruits and things of that nature?
I'll start off with that one. I absolutely love it. As one of the original 5 founding members, or well, actually, I think there's original 6 founding members. 1 has left and came back.
Who's that?
So it started out with myself.
Who's? Oh, all right.
One Ocean 10, Duckman, Trooper Stark, Caden, and Toro. Those were the 6. Yes, those were the
Dispatcher?
6 originals. Yes.
Yeah, Dispatcher Toro was back in the day.
Really?
Those were the 6 original that came over, and then we grew from there.
Right.
But back to the question, I absolutely love it. And as one of the originals, that was our dream, was to grow it and get to the point where we are, where we can maintain patrols almost every day. And, you know, and I want to say, if there's not the people to do a patrol every day, don't beat yourself up over it. Go do something else, you know? You don't have to do it every scheduled patrol, but we put the schedule out to try and maintain some organization.
Right, and just to touch on that real quick, like, I've been to almost every patrol that there is, except, like 2 or 3. And it's just, my thing is, like, I love doing the patrols. Like, I was really interested. So, I just really like doing the patrols on the scheduled days. But if we can't make it, then we can't make it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, you know, and I would say a good patrol would be 5 to 6 LEOs and 4 to 5 civs. I like a 1-to-1 civ ratio, or even a 2 to 3 to 1 civ to LEO ratio, because that's what you really face. Honestly, in the United States, there's about 350,000 registered, confirmed LEOs. Okay, and you take that and you compare it to the population of the United States.
All the civilians and
yeah. The LEOs are way outnumbered, which is why they're called the thin blue line. You know, that they have to hold the thin blue line, and that's the thin blue line between law-abiding citizen and law-breaking citizen, you know, and they are the in a sense of the.
Oh, excuse me.
In the sense of it, you know, they are the civilized army or militarized system that upholds the law. And
I mean, we have the power to overthrow the government.
Absolutely, we do.
I forgot what amendment it was, but I know it's an amendment. So
yeah, we have the
right to overthrow.
Yeah, we do. And honestly, you know, there was some times in the last 10 years that I thought that was going to happen.
Right. I mean, literally, especially now with Trump, I definitely thought it was going to happen. Like, no doubt. But
I don't think it. I thought there was a better chance of it with our previous president than our current president.
Really? With Obama?
Yeah.
Damn. I never thought. I always thought he was a good president. That was just me.
I mean, let's not get into politics.
Yeah.
I don't really care to get
all right.
Yeah. But anyway, the influx in new recruits, I like it, and I hope it continues.
I mean,
you know, I can tell you from a command aspect and from well, really more of a board aspect that we are getting 2 to 3 new applications every day.
Right.
And honestly, we cannot keep up with interviews.
Right. I mean,
you know, and so that all being said, if you're watching and you have
application sent in.
Yeah, application sent in. Be patient, because how we do it is we go and we do about 15 to 16 interviews at a time, and we bring in that amount of people, and then once they're trained up, we go and we do it again. So we don't always have 50, 60 new people sitting here ready for training. We don't want to overthrow the FTO staff, considering they do 2 to 3, maybe max of 5 per training session.
I mean, and now sometimes it's, you know, we don't have people on for that training session. So like we did before Wednesday's patrol, we got on at like 3 hours before the patrol, and we did another patrol to finish up the other guys that weren't done.
Yeah.
That way they could get their ride-along status and be on for patrol.
Because we don't want to end up having that massive influx and people be sitting, like you said, sitting here for
weeks on end.
Weeks on end just to get their training done because of the amount of FTOs we have compared to an influx that could happen. We would all be worn out, and especially with how we go about the training and what's all included. I mean, it's a tedious process, and
I mean,
to run what we have into the ground pretty much because we're trying to keep up with the influx. We're not going to have that many FTOs because it really wears somebody out to have to go through.
I mean, in my eyes at least, like I haven't seen an LEO that is more dedicated than, I mean, that I am, like that's lower than me right now, like, or a cadet status at least. I haven't seen it, like in my eyes at least. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen one dedicated and willing to help others. Like,
again, I haven't been.
I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but
I haven't been in patrols with you. I haven't really had much interaction outside of tonight with you, so I can't honestly.
I mean, Morris, what's your take on that?
For the most part, I mean, it does take several people, especially if this is a whole new experience of them, to get over having, especially knowing that there could be potentially on our live streams or on our recordings, to not be so shy about it, or even in general, just being shy in general. So it takes everybody the time to get up and warm up to everybody, especially when you're working with several people. I mean,
with YouTubers that record and
like Vex said, with when you first meet Stark, I mean, you definitely could meet several people and think we're an asshole. I mean, hell, I could be an asshole sometimes during training, but it's more of the aspect of trying to get everybody in shape and try to build you guys up. And I mean, Vexic, I've worked with him since I trained him. I think actually was one of the FTOs that helped train him.
Yeah, you did.
And I mean, everybody can improve. Even I can improve. Major Stark can improve. Colonel can improve. But it's when you can put yourself out there and actually help out with others is where the benefit of everything comes in. And then it's definitely good to have Vexic now as an FTO to be able to help out, because he did everything to work up to the point and then started putting himself out there to help, which is a good thing because during patrols there may not be a lot of people to handle the ride-along phases. I mean, whenever. But I mean, for that point, I mean, it's definitely good. Now, real quick, so I don't forget, going to another question from Scotty. Asked, have we watched their people servers for inspiration, like DOJ, Coast to Coast Justice?
Right. Okay, yeah. Right. I mean, that's where I got into this whole sort of roleplay type thing. Like, it was just watching them, and I was, shit, like, that shit dope. Like, that is really cool. I mean, I still watch them, yeah. I mean, yeah, like, sometimes, to be honest, like, when I saw Ocean drop that roadblock video, like, I was like, I really don't want to watch this because I already know what's gonna happen. Like, I want to, like, of course I still watched it, but it's just a matter of the fact that I already know what's gonna happen because I was there for it. Like, sometimes, like, when I go to watch DOJ, I don't know what's gonna happen, so I watch the entire video. Like, granted, I still watched Ocean's entire video, but it was just, I already knew what was gonna happen. Yeah, to kind of basically take, like, their own characters almost, or, you know, you don't want to take their own characters and bring it over here because that's not if you were to take Polecat's Hitman and come over here, like, that's not, you know, I mean, Womack kind of did that a couple weeks ago, but hey.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, really? That you just thought of. Yeah, I mean, and it was where it came from. Right. And I mean, I know that I was in the ride-along phase during that, and I was like, oh, fuck, okay, I'm scared. Because you killed, like, literally you killed the person that I was riding along with, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, by Grapeseed off of Main Street, and you're on that hill, and that fucking dubstep, yeah. I was like, fuck, I don't help. Like, it was just really, really weird on my part. I'm so glad you didn't shoot me. I mean, dude, I don't care. Fuck it. Really? I didn't even see you. Jeez. Damn, that's insane. What? What? No. Oh my god.
Major second link.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't even fucking know that. That's crazy.
I can agree with Infamous there when he just said that it reminded him of the ride along with me and getting shot in the head while driving. Yeah, that was actually I remembered that because we were coming down in the Grand Sonora Desert on that dirt road right at the train tracks in Sandy, and me and him pulled
off
up
of
to
Panorama and Joshua.
Yeah, and we pulled up started pulling up to those rocks in that intersection. He gets shot in the head, and then I get shot as soon as I could try to get out. And
what the hell?
It was a crazy.
I remember that.
God, that's fucking crazy.
That was the exact same night. I remember that. Yep.
Oh shit!
I'm so glad I did that. That's how I got my demon. I was working. Jim was working with the the hitman.
Oh, that's how you got it. You were like, I knew some people.
No, yeah, that because I didn't tell him in game how I got it. I told him I was like, well, I was working with some people, and I got a good reward out of it, and that's how I got it. Because I don't know the name to spawn it, and I'm not just gonna say I bought it. You know, like all the vehicles that I have RP'd, and besides my Sand King, I have RP'd and acquired, like the motorcycle, the cruiser, the freaking what the hell is it called? The electric van, and then the demon. I've all got them through situations that I RP out, and I'm proud of them. They're like trophies that I've gotten.
Right. It's like, damn, I did this and this to get this.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like a story behind, and that's how I want with everything with Jim, is I want there to be a story behind it.
Well, that's how we're trying to get every civ. That's how what we're trying to implement in every civ, in my opinion, is to have a story behind it, like Ocean was saying before. You know, just have a storyline behind your character.
Yeah, don't just do something to do it.
Right.
You know? And
and
that's every civ I have has a story behind them. And my trooper has a story behind it. You know, nobody's ever thought to ask, and nobody's ever thought to do any of that, which is perfectly fine by me, because it doesn't have to come out.
Right.
You know?
It's just your own little personal
you know,
kind of thing. I was about to say vendetta, but that's not
much
correct,
like Ocean, I've been role-playing now. I'm 33. I started role-playing when I was 13.
Jesus.
12 or 13. I started role-playing around that time. And most of my role-play is tabletop. So, you know, everything we did was in books. We had to handwrite stories, handwrite character sheets. You know, look up Rift's tabletop RPG. That's what I played the most. I played Vampires and the Masquerade. I played D&D a little bit. D&D is the one that most people know. But, you know, and so the whole online roleplay was kind of different. And so I played RPGs, and I wasn't really a fan of those. But this is something different because I can control a particular character.
Right, you can control how he ends up.
Yeah, if I want to kill him, I can kill him.
Right. I mean, and it's like that. It's like, I forgot who said it, but someone says, you know, civs control the situation. Mm-hmm. They control how it ends up.
That was me.
And that should always how it was because I mean, if you go back and think, well, role playing or during a traffic stop, they could be tired as hell. But yet, a lot of LEOs would think, well, how they act, they're going to think they're drunk, so they're going to role-play that out as they're drunk and make things up. But as a civ, they could be role-playing that they just pulled off a 12-hour shift at a factory and are tired as hell, and they're just really groggy and trying to get home so they can make it home safe and go to bed. But people would role-play it differently, and that's why it's good to let the civs role-play it, because he wants to roleplay it as just really tired and groggy, but you want to roleplay it as
he's drunk
or having a DUI
or under the influence. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about other states, but I know in Texas, you can be charged with driving under the influence
if you're tired.
Yep.
Damn.
It's driving under the influence, a lack of sleep, and they actually have done tests and proven that lack of sleep is just as bad as driving drunk.
Yeah, because I mean, you pretty much can have a chance to lose consciousness because you're so tired.
Right.
Driving sleepy or driving, what do they call it? Driving drowsy is the same as driving drunk. They actually have done several big
sleepless
about
or
that.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can honestly agree. You know, there's several times that. So when I was, a little bit of background on me, when I was 17, I moved out of my mom and dad's house. Held down 2 full-time jobs, quit school. Don't do that, by the way.
Did you get your GED or?
No, I've not done any of that to this day, which is something I'm currently working on.
Okay.
You're not alone there, Womack. Actually, because of some Bentley's health went downhill as I was in high school. I did have to drop out, but I had already acquired my GED before I started at where I'm at now.
Well, that's great.
I mean,
but,
I almost didn't graduate, so we're gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I literally, like, my class graduated in June. I graduated in August, in the last week that you could have graduated with your class.
Damn.
So if I didn't graduate with my class, I would have had to wait an entire summer to get my diploma, or like an entire school year.
But back to what I was.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying is after working 2 full-time jobs. So I worked 8-10 hours one place, go work 8-10 hours another place, drive home. I lived 25 miles from where I worked. There had been quite a few nights getting off 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember the drive home. The only thing I remember is waking up in my bed the next morning. And that's damn scary considering I drive 20 to 25 minutes home in a stick shift 84 Chevrolet pickup, mind you.
Damn.
With no power steering. I'll throw that in there.
Oosh,
I get
that's
home.
even worse.
Yeah. Here's the kicker to it all. I cook something when I get home. I eat it. I take a shower. I started a little laundry. And I went to bed. Got up the next morning. Didn't remember shit.
Wow.
Nothing.
That's insane.
Real quick here, Major, did you see that comment that MG Tanner had said on the channel on the stream chat?
Oh.
Yeah, the Mounties guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you could have that feedback for the board.
Yeah, that's good. I'm very glad to hear that.
It wasn't a question; it was just a statement. He had said that, in his opinion, that the community that we have going is awesome. That he's currently in Mounties, and that is where his name comes from. But he said if he ever did leave over, he would come to the community because it's a great community.
I don't remember who it is, but we actually have 1 or 2 members that are former members of that community.
No, I was, but that was way back in the day when it was GTA 4.
Okay.
I don't know if that was one of them or not, but I mean, like I said, that's back when I first got into GTA.
Yeah, I never played GTA 4, so I played it on PlayStation.
I never played the original. Like, I played the original, but I never. And people like get pissed at me because I didn't play the story.
I've played them all, but most of them were on PlayStation. This is honestly, I didn't get into computer gaming until, or PC gaming until a year and a half ago. When about the time that Duck and I and Ocean first met is when I was starting to get into it, and I had to do some pretty good upgrades to even be able to
run GTA.
Yeah. And so. I had to totally rebuild my system because it's what I had, which wouldn't do it. It was the old 4-core AMD, and they just wouldn't do it.
Right.
And so, but here I am fixing to upgrade again. But it's all for the channel. It's all for you guys. It's all for the viewers and everything. And it's
all for the members, and it's just
for the members and everything else. I enjoy doing that stuff, and I enjoy building systems, which is why I built systems now for 2 YouTubers, and hopefully more in the future. And
right. I mean, you get paid for it.
Actually, for the 2 that I've done, I haven't. I've done them as a pro bono type thing. Not a pro bono, but as a build my, what do you call it? Build my repertoire, build my background,
Right, your reputation and...
So that's something that eventually I'm going to start adding
charging.
in, $100 installation fee or whatever, but...
I'm sure that if I fucking ask you, you're not all the way up from Texas to Michigan to fucking give me my PC,
Well, see, that's the thing for me, because he's actually, like I said, currently working on a build for me.
Right.
And, I mean, I could easily take the drive down to where he's at to build it, or to help or build it, and then take it back with me. But with not having a proper vehicle with an AC and only one window going out, that would definitely be hard. So what I'm end up doing is, after he builds it and does whatever, I'll end up paying for the shipping for him to send it back to me, and that way all he has to worry about is putting it together, and if he needs anything off of it, then I can do whatever I need, but then the rest is covered the payment to buy the parts is covered by me, the shipping and all that, and then shipping it to me, so that way he doesn't have to
drive all the way. Yeah.
drive all the way there, or me have to drive all the way down there, or whatever.
Right. I mean, and I'm sure if I fucking asked him to do it, he'd probably do it. I'd pay for shipping. I'd pay for whatever else that he thought that I needed. You know.
Yeah, sure. You know, and I, you know, would do that for sure. And it's for me, it's fun. You know, I enjoy taking a pile of parts that
And
somebody
just
go, oh,
making it work.
that's never gonna be a working PC. Well,
And
you
just
know,
making it work.
2 hours later, it's a fully running functional gaming computer.
You know, what fucking blows my mind is how fast people put computers together.
Honestly, Duck's computer, all in all, Duck's computer took me to get to a running state 45 minutes. You know, from a pile of parts to a running state. Now, to a final product, 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. You know, because
that's not even bad. That's like a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. So, you know,
well, I mean, that's
or like a late night thing, you know, like if you're up and can't sleep, fuck it, let's get this done.
No, I learned the hard way. Don't try to put together a computer late at night when you're tired. Don't do that.
Also, real quick,
I messed up a $200 chip doing that. Don't do that.
Yeah, and another question here from Infamous. He asked, how do you guys feel about the fact that there are a bunch of people from different countries coming to the community now, like with Australians and New Zealand?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Because you get their different standpoints of their government and their law enforcement.
Well, let me stop you there.
Into us, okay.
Because we don't take everything from everywhere and make it into SAF.
Well, right,
okay?
right.
So SAF, the board runs SAF and sets the laws and stuff. That is the board's main job. It's everything on Discord, which is the laws and all that. So that being said, we run SAF, San Andreas' Finest, as if we were our own entity, as if we were our own municipality or our own town. All right. So basically, we are San Andreas' Finest USA. You know, we are a town in USA somewhere. Doesn't matter what state. That doesn't really matter. We set out the laws to how we see fit, much like your local government does in that particular town. They're not really laws; they're more ordinances, so to speak. So a local law can outdo a state law, and a state law can outdo a federal law. Not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people understand that, but that's the truth. And so that's kind of how it is here too. SAF has its own laws. It doesn't matter if you live in New Zealand and you can't carry a gun there, because in SAF you can carry a gun with, and you don't have to tell the deputy or a trooper about it.
Right.
All right. You know, for an example, that seems to be the most questioned thing for some odd reason. I'm all about constitutional carry. I'm all about constitutional law.
Or or I know in Australia that chewing tobacco is illegal.
Right.
And you could have that in SAF.
So, all right, go ahead and continue your thought process if I didn't throw you off too bad.
No, it's just like more of their experience that they have had from different, the way that they run things, basically. Like they can implement that and give us new ideas and everything like that to be able to, you know.
For sure, if anybody has a suggestion as to what they would like to see happen, or a suggestion for a new law, or a suggestion to amendment to a law or rule, message a board member and say, hey, you know, I would like to suggest this. And it'll go before the board, and we will talk about it, we will hash it out, and we will vote on it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know?
Right. Hi, Stark.
Correct, Infamous. It is based around U.S. law because, well, all the board members are in the United States.
Right.
Also, you have a question on your
Good job.
Sorry.
Yeah, then you got a question on your stream.
Oh, sorry. What do you think of people in the Caribbean joining the community? Hey, I would.
More power to you.
We don't discriminate, bro.
More power to you.
Nah, we don't discriminate at all. I would definitely recommend it, and I wouldn't mind making contacts down there because I'd love to go to the Caribbean someday. So, give me just a second here.
More power to you, man. Go ahead and join if you want. I mean, and we don't, we don't deny you just because you live in a certain area.
Yeah, the only thing that's different.
Granted, it would be kind of hard if you spoke a different language.
Yeah, that part would be the thing. If you can be able to understand and be able to grasp the concept of the different laws that America runs compared to the Caribbean or whatever, then there's no problem. I mean, if you know you're going to be able to understand and grasp the concept, more power to you. That's where you get to go.
Exactly.
And he said that he's from Jamaica and would love to join us.
I've been to Jamaica. It is gorgeous.
I've never been to Jamaica, but I want to go so bad. So
You're welcome.
I've actually talked to King Nitto on Discord before. We friended him via Ocean Stream, I think, and then he found us in Truck Simulator, ATS. And ran with us in ATS, and he was fantastic in there. So I would say he would be great in here too.
I didn't know that was an online game.
ATS, yeah, there is a online addition to it.
SMP.
What? I'm gonna have to get that because I do have ATS.
Well, going off of what Womack had said, then yeah, I mean, if you want to join, definitely do it. I mean, from what he says, it sounds like you're gonna be an amazing trooper or a sheriff or dispatcher or even fire.
Right. I mean, anything you want to do, go ahead, man. I mean, I don't know. Colonel can, he can help me out on this, but it sounds like you guys are lacking in the State Department almost. Not trying to, but it seems like we have more sheriff on than we do state.
It's intended that way on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know that
the elite is known as an elite group,
right?
Or a department, I should say.
It's not necessarily about the eliteness; it's more about the realisticness. Because you got to think of the state troopers, okay, opposed to a sheriff's department, okay,
or a cop, or
the state troopers in that area. There would be 1 to 12 freaking cars
or something. Yeah,
1 to 12 ratio. So that's what it's about. It's not about the eliteness or how good of a Leo you are. It has nothing to do with that. It's about
the real world.
The real world is supposed to be based to make it look like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Womack, but that's the impression I've been under. It's not about the eliteness, which we like to say it is, just because we're all about we're just state, and you guys are like, oh, we're sheriff. It's just a rivalry, but.
Right.
In all actuality, it's more of the legitness of how it is. It's to keep it as real as possible.
Right.
Because you wouldn't see 50 state cars and 2 sheriff cars. That wouldn't be.
That wouldn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, it's more of for sheriff. Like if there's not a state on, then you can't do a breathalyzer, take photographs or something. That's my. I don't know, Morris, if you want to touch on that, but
so I want to step back for just a second here and hit on what Stark said. Now, when I'm looking at candidates to bring to state, before I talk to anybody else about it, I start reviewing what they've done and reviewing their footage if they do footage, and then I go to the commanding officer, because at this point I'm not accepting applications, I am only transferring. And we're not even doing that at this point. But I go to their commanding officer, which obviously would be Duck in this instance, and say, okay, what do you think about this deputy? Do you think they're good or bad? Are they active? That's my number one question most of the time is, are they active? And if he says no, they're automatically cut. And that might be harsh of me, but I want people that are going to be here.
Right.
I've said on many occasions that there's never an excuse not to have a trooper online. And we might not have very many, but there's never an excuse not to have one in a patrol.
Right.
And if that means that they can't go run Civ when they were originally planning to run Civ, sorry, but you need to be a trooper. That's your number one
priority.
Priority.
You're here for Leo, not Civ.
Correct. So, but if you want to become a trooper, then you have to show the willingness, and you have to show that you want to do that,
right?
And that you are elite. And I am only going to accept the best of the best.
Right.
I'm not going to accept anybody else. And yeah, Stark said it's not all about that. Maybe for them, but for me, it is about that as well.
Now, I did want to be a trooper. Like, that's what I wanted to do originally. And I had asked Stark earlier this week if I could, and then I was told by sheriff this and that and this, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to leave it at that, but, you know.
Yeah, and you know, it's right now, we're not accepting any more
transfers or
anything.
Right.
The only way that we would is if the sheriff's department just explodes to 100 members.
Right.
And then we would think about doing it.
You know, like maybe 4 or 5 if it gets up to, you know.
Maybe. You know, right now we're sitting at, how many are we sitting at right now? I think 7.
Right.
Roughly, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 or 7. I've only really seen 192, Stark, Les, and yourself, Ocean, and 121.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 troopers total.
Yeah.
Well, we have 7
I've really
troopers.
only seen like 4 or 5.
We have 7 troopers and 1 still sitting cadet, which I think 124 has been passed along to be able to start ride-alongs, if I remember right. So that's not 100% up-to-date list. I need to move him up, but you know he's. But
we're talking about Crazy, right?
No, we're talking about
124 and 127.
124, 121.
Oh, Styles. No, 124 is Styles.
Yeah. Did he
I was
pass?
talking about 121 that you said.
Oh no.
No,
did he pass?
121 is right.
Did he pass? The cadet? Did he pass training?
Yeah, we what we had done is, since he had a crazy work schedule, we pulled him aside on his day off, and we were able to finally get him finished and passed the ride-along phase.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I just haven't seen him since then. That's all.
Yeah, he's been having issues with his computer, and plus his work schedule is still a little hectic.
Okay, well, it'd been nice for me to know that. You know, and that's part of it too.
That's
part of the communication, I know.
Knew about it too.
Well, regardless if you think they're going to or not, go ahead and let me know. If I know, I'll be like, okay, yeah, cool, I knew that. But if not, then I'll be like, all right, cool, thanks. You know,
right?
Type of thing. So
that way you can look at other people or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And so it is what it is, though. But yeah, I think this is gonna be it for me tonight. So is there any final questions or comments you would like to make?
Famous has one other question, and that's going to be it for me, too. He has said his more personal question, not related to the server. Do any of you guys know how to play an instrument?
Actually, in high school, I played every instrument in a common marching band.
Nice.
So you name it, I could play it if it was in a normal marching band. Currently, I do not play any instruments. I haven't picked up an instrument since high school. So it would take a lot of practice for me to get back into it. I did attempt to play a trumpet a few years ago, and it was a very sad attempt.
Right. I still sometimes I play the violin.
Oh, nice.
So not a lot of people really know how to play the violin well, but once I transferred schools, I didn't have that option. Kind of did it here and there on my off time. Really cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, as for me, I've done, when I was in middle school and high school, I did a little bit of guitar, and then one of the things that I actually had to do as a requirement for middle school was learn how to play a banjo.
Yeah.
That was one of the things for our music class, is we either had to go through a thing learning the banjo,
or to sing.
or it was something. Well, I mean, back when I was in middle school, you had to learn how to play a banjo. It was one of the things just as part of the music course or class if you're in it. And then you had to do things like line dancing. And then at one point you had to do a career fair to where you actually went through, picked your job, and you actually went through these booths that actually had each like career thing. Like if you had to go to the hospital, they had like police there with drunk goggles. You actually had like OMU, one of our like power places that was there. You had like different things, and you had a chance card to where you could actually get promoted or if things happen. And I happened to had a family member get sick and had to take less hours. So I actually had to go to a booth to apply for food stamps and apply for electrical assistance because I had that down slope of income.
Right.
So
what about you, Stark?
Pretty much ready. Yeah. What about you, Stark?
Instantly. Stark.
Yeah.
What was that?
What is your from Infamous's question? What's your, or do you know how to play any instruments?
Yes.
I know he plays guitar.
You do.
Yeah. I can play the guitar. Yeah, I can play the drums as well. Percussion. That's actually mainly what I do is percussion instruments. But I picked up guitar like a year ago, and I can play a whole bunch of different songs on it. It's really about the chords. Very musically inclined, but I haven't really messed with it much lately.
Right.
I've kind of been really busy, but yeah, I picked up guitar extremely fast. It came really easy to me. Like at the very beginning, though, it was
what the
awful.
fuck?
Yeah, it was awful because I was so used to playing the drums, and the guitar and the drums are two totally different instruments. Not just the looks or the feel of playing, but the
musical notes and
well, the thing is, the drums is more about timing.
Right.
And the rhythm of the guitar is totally different than the drums. So when you're in so I'll catch myself, just like playing air guitar or whatever to some song, but the fact is that I'm not actually playing the notes of the song. I'm playing air guitar to the drums of the freaking song because I'm at first I was a drummer.
Yep.
So but then when I pick up a guitar and I learn that song, I'm like, holy shit. I was like, wow, I look like a freaking idiot if somebody were to film me doing that. And I'd look back after I learned the song, like, wow, I wasn't even close,
Right.
But I can do either or. It's just, I've written a couple songs on the guitar, and I really want another set of drums to put drums into those songs. And I plan on doing that. And I don't think I'll put them on a channel or anything. Yeah, but once I get another... Yeah. My dad's huge into instruments. He can play mandolin, the fiddle, the guitar, dulcimer. Any stringed instrument, he can just pick it up and just jam out on it.
Like the violin.
Yeah, he can honestly, he can play like any stringed instrument. It kind of blows my mind. But his main weapon of choice is the mandolin.
My younger cousin, he can listen to any song and instantly play it on just about anything. So he was laying on the floor, and what song was it?
It's the
Stairway to Heaven was playing in the background. He picked up this kid toy that made sounds, and he just started playing with it. He figured out the notes, and he was playing Stairway to Heaven on this kid toy.
What the fuck?
And we're like, wait, that's Stairway, so he's self-taught guitar, self-taught bass, self-taught
basically everything,
electric guitar. The only thing I've never seen him play is piano, and honestly he probably could. If somebody would just play it, I'm sure he could do it.
That's one of those people that has the memory, like for people who can be able to hear a song and know exactly what it is, or be able to sing it without things. But it's more some people say it could be like kind of like a memory game. If they hear it for so much, it's pretty much stuck in your head, and you can do it. But more of that, it's pretty much the sense, or your hearing, or the hearing senses, or whatever.
Fuck, can you talk?
In high school, I was the same way. That's how I became able to play all the instruments. My band teacher, she would come up to me and she would say, I need you on saxophone. Okay, show me how to play it. And she would show me how to play it, or she would put me with chair one, They would show me how to play it, and I would play it. I'd practice it for 10, 15 minutes, and I had it. She would tell me, okay, I need you on flute. Teach me how to play it. Show me. And she showed me, and I could do it. Primarily, I started out playing trumpet, or cornet, actually, which is real similar to trumpet. And then I went to trombone, and then I went to tuba, and then I went to percussion. And then I started in on woodwinds after that. And it just got to be where at the beginning of my sophomore year, she handed me sheet music for every single instrument. Because she knew by then, this was my freshman year. By then, by my sophomore year, she knew. This is what this guy can play. This is what he can do. So she just gave me sheet music for everything.
That's kind of like back when I was in middle school, when we were doing the banjo and having to do the piano part of it. I mean, that's pretty much the way I was too. We pretty much ran through the different exercises, ran through each part of the music, and then by the end we were able to do it. And for me, I mean, I'm not best when it comes to like art or playing music by ear that much anymore, but when you're able to go back and actually do that and be able to take something and be able to learn from it and actually be able to play it, it's definitely something that really shocks you, especially if it's something that you're not used to doing. That was the way I was when I was able to play like Ultra Joy on the piano or play random country music with the banjo, if it had a banjo part in it. It's like, how did I actually be able to do that? Because that's something I never could ever do.
Right. And that's kind of how it's been for me too, you know. And I honestly wouldn't I wouldn't be as disciplined as I am without band. And a lot of people look at it as, oh, they're just geeks, or, oh, they're just this or just that.
The band nerds, they're band geeks.
But to be honest, it taught me a lot. And
But yeah, with that being said, guys, is there any final questions? Because I think I'm going to call it so I can get this college assignment done.
Yeah.
And plus get some sleep since it's already almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's 4 o'clock for me. Think we're good.
Alright.
Alright.
That's gonna be fun for the 3 that are still on. I'm going to close off my stream real quick because I got to say something to you guys real quick afterwards. So,
all right, guys, everybody, I'm going to call it a night from there. Appreciate everybody hanging out, and have a good evening.
All right.